Great, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Recycling Committee on September 10th, 2024. Members in the room present are
David O'Connell.
Vanessa Brigade.
Jean Landis Norman. And also with us today is our Superintendent of Streets, Trees and Parks, Paul Bassler, and our MAC, Todd Pep. So thank you all for being here today. This meeting is being recorded by the local scene, formerly PAP TV. Anyone intending to make an audio or video recording of this meeting should notify the chair at this time. Not seeing anyone.
No takers.
All right. So Vanessa, thank you for sending out the minutes. We have minutes from, obviously I didn't have them when I wrote the agenda. So we've got the minutes from June and August. And I think even though they're not on the agenda, we can go ahead and review them and approve them. So David, did you get a chance?
I did.
To read them? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. Are we gonna do them both together or we one?
Well, that's up to you.
Were there well, I guess we can.
Any corrections or,
I did have a couple. On the June 11th, under swap shop, last sentence, volunteers will need to be, I just put be in there, be recruited. You see where I am?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and then under update on organics collection, 1, 2, third line. I just added an S to state and sticker purchasers. You see where that is?
Yeah.
Just before we sent today. Then under private hauler regulations, you didn't have anything. I didn't know what you wanted to put in there, that there was just a discussion or.
Was there in June?
This
it's
is
June 11th.
There was a discussion. Yes, I zoomed or not.
Let me see if I have anything.
I see your mind too.
We did have a discussion, the health agent,
Because then we give them an update after we met with, what's her name?
yeah.
I think that was,
Like met with Joyce?
yeah, Joyce.
I think that was later than that.
That was later.
Was it?
Yeah, we had just mentioned, you know, I had been talking with Joyce, the health agent. Jean had mentioned having the SSRC.
Yeah, well, didn't I put that in there or did I miss putting all that
Well,
in?
you don't have anything behind private hauler regulation.
You know, I think I stuck it somewhere else.
Okay,
I think I stuck it, is it under SSRC since we were kind of
Could be.
dumping it on them? No, that wasn't.
Well,
under-
you know, the fact is on the,
It's under private hauler regulations.
the other thing is you move forward to the August 13th, you have public regulations and you have. verbiage. So maybe
Yeah, but no, I put it under private hauler regulations.
but there's nothing there. It's,
there isn't,
Oh, August, sorry.
there isn't
I'm
August.
looking at June.
I know you are, but if
Did I put that one somewhere else? Let me see.
I didn't know if you wanted to put something else there that we, or did you just indicate that we had a discussion?
Because you're spending the day at the beach.
There he is. Hey, Jean, welcome.
That's sure.
Sorry for being late.
That's all right.
It took alternately to get around construction.
Oh,
Just
so
ran
yeah.
into,
Oh, construction.
ran
Yes.
into.
Nothing about that.
So if anyone wants to suggest, I'm open.
I would just say, ongoing discussions with the health agent. If that's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We're going over the minutes from June 11th and August 15th. So we're on
Thank you
June
for that
11th right
friendly
now.
amendment.
And I think that was everything I had on the June. In the August, under outreach assistance. 1, 2, 3, fourth line, where you
Yep.
had season information, I just put seasonal.
Yep.
There you go.
Thanks.
That was all I had. Anybody else? Did you have anything, Jean?
For the 13th,
This is August 13th, sure.
it says outreach assistant Jean wanted to stress Facebook page is locked down from comments. And I just wanted to clarify on that.
Mhm.
I think it shouldn't be fleet, whatever someone posts on there. It's an educational page, so it should be a legitimate question. So the Facebook administrator would decide if it was a legitimate question, not just rude comments and uninformed.
Okay,
Whatever.
so how would you like us to reword that? Just be moderated?
I was gonna type it out.
Okay. Okay, but let's see if we can't shrink it a little bit. Facebook page is moderated for information only.
Like it's an educational
Okay.
website, not a free for all.
Okay, is used as an informational. Okay. Are you okay with that, Vanessa?
I'm writing, I don't know what I got though.
Is
Is
used-
moderated,
No, is used for informational purposes. Is that all right?
Educational.
For education purposes.
I like it.
Did you have anything else on either of them? David, did
so
you
just
have
to take all that out, or Jean wanted to
After
stress?
is locked down, locked down for comments, put used for education purposes.
Okay,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so now with all those amendments, David, you were the mover, are you accepting of them? Of the
Yeah,
amendments?
I move to accept the minutes as altered,
As amended,
as amended, thank you. From June 11, 24 and August 13, 20.
do I have a second?
Second,
All right. All those in favor, we'll take a voice vote.
Jean, I.
David, I.
Vanessa, I.
Jean, I, okay, 4-0.
Thank you all.
See, we do read
Thank
them.
you.
We do read them.
I appreciate that. I have to say, my minutes have turned into hours and then sometimes into days. Hate it.
Okay. Update from Paul. Paul, what do you have to tell us today?
Today,
about-
I'm telling you that as of November 1st, I'm retiring from the town of Kingston. After long thought and 29 years of being with the town, it is best that I leave.
So 11-1.
11-1 it is.
So knowing this ahead of time, I did extend an invitation to Paul to continue as a citizen member of the recycling committee. He has yet to respond in the positive to that, so.
I'll keep beating him.
We should all work on them. Oh,
Yes.
mission
I,
like crazy. You
I
got
am gonna have a 6-month hiatus from all things
Kingston.
town of.
Okay, I'm putting it on my calendar,
That's
6
acceptable,
months.
but after 6 months, we expect you're gonna.
So is this before or after special town meeting? Before? Well, you better vote at it anyways.
Well,
Who's gonna count votes?
6-month hiatus.
my,
What's your problem, huh?
no, my job doing that does not matter if I'm town employee or not.
That's true. That's,
But just so everybody knows, my wife and I plan on taking a vacation on November 3rd anyway. So we have a 2-week getaway, all inclusive in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Heard
Starting
good
from
things
November
about
3rd
that
to the
one.
17th.
Good for you.
So,
Wonderful.
I'll be back 2 days before town meeting.
You still need sunscreen.
Actually ordered 4 cans of it the other day.
There you go. I take it you plan on just laying out in the sun for a while.
That
You
has
can
a
check
lot
out
to
the
do
Public
with
Library's collection of books.
She has books on tape when she goes.
There you go.
So there's gonna be some
Call that
changes.
more.
There's gonna be changes both at the highway department and at the transfer station.
And with RDP next.
Yeah, that's. We, Al Rash, transfer station foreman, is going to apply for the maintenance mechanic position at the highway department. Because my maintenance mechanic Danny, after 27 years in the town, is retiring December 2nd. So Al's moving down to that job. Chris Zanuck, as I'm sure most of you know who Chris is. Chris is getting trained to take over the helm of the transfer station. So all this is gonna take place somewhere between October 1st and November 1st, whether or not it's gonna be before November 1st, but as of November 1st, people that are gonna be changed are gonna change. So my foreman, who's gonna be the interim superintendent until such time they find somebody else, is gonna have to hire a laborer to get us through the rest of the years.
Okay, so Sean would then be in charge.
Sean is going to be in charge of all things Department of Streets, Trees and Parks. Until such time that they find somebody new. Another, at tonight's selectmen's meeting, there'll be discussions about what they want to do with either my position or Jason downstairs in the billing office is also giving his resignation. He's leaving October 4th, which, how he beat me out the door, I don't know.
I don't know. I will be at it. I have much to say on this. I just-
Jean's gonna fight you leaving.
No,
I can already tell.
No,
You can't
I
let
think
him
it's a
go.
well-deserved retirement.
It's
I
time.
appreciate
I-
everything Paul has done for us and for me personally, so.
I'd like to extend that from DEP too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been an absolute pleasure to work with.
But keep in mind, I was on the government study committee and the implementation committee. This was discussed back then in 2008 and 2010. We had recommendations to make, which were not, didn't go anywhere. And having observed everything in town since 1991, I have quite a bit to say about what I think the town should do. Will they listen? Have they listened before? Sometimes, not always. But I think it's a critical time in our town to determine what the right structure is. How services are provided and who's in charge of those services. As we all know, Paul has been stretched quite a bit. He's got a lot on his plate. And he himself has identified additional needs that the town should have, and I certainly hope they listen.
Well, that's what tomorrow, I think tonight, some of the conversation is gonna be is, this is the first time in 23 years this position's been open. And whoever comes through the door sometime next year, whether they'll be here that long or short time. So depending on what people want to see as the future for this town. I've been saying for probably 15 years that we should probably start thinking about having an engineer in the town.
Mhm.
I have reached out to a few engineer people that I know that are in charge of DPWs and they're not interested in coming in. One of the reasons why, because we oversee both highway and transfer station. And two of the people I've talked to say that's enough for a 40-hour week job.
Mhm.
So I know now that Jason's position's opened up, maybe that's a time to have an engineer in that position.
Mhm.
But I think the town is big enough now as a $57 million corporation to have an engineer. At least to oversee some of this stuff or just take a look at it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm spending a lot of money on consulting engineers for a lot of stuff that we do. I know the water department, the sewer departments are, as well as other projects in the town.
Do
It's
you
a
think
discussion
it's
to have.
feasible to find someone with the specific skill sets for all the various projects? And I don't see the transfer station needing anything immediately.
Nope.
I think a lot hinges on what happens with the group that wants to do the depot here, the
Mhm.
trash depot, that could entail some additional discussion.
Right, but no matter what happens, we are still gonna have our own transfer station,
Mm.
based on the
I hope.
forward discussions that I've had with that group.
Mhm.
They have no desire to take over our transfer station.
No, but they probably want our trash.
Well, that's part of it, 2,000 gallons a day, stuff. But once again, that's all stuff above my pay scale. They know that CMAS's contract expires December 31st of 2029. So how do we get from where we are in 2024 to 2029?
Mhm.
I'm sure that town administrator, legal team will discuss all that stuff.
Well, the last time we met, you had just had a meeting of the work group that's working
Yep.
with that entity. Have there been any subsequent meetings?
We had one meeting last month. We have another one scheduled for today. this
Oh.
afternoon.
Okay.
What we're doing is just trying to get down some basic stuff.
Mhm.
So the town planner's been working very hard and trying to come up with some ideas. She has reached out as well as town administrator of some other communities that have this type of facility in their towns or cities. And they've gotten the host community agreements to those. To see what's available out there. As you might be aware, is this proposal transfer station has nothing to do with recycling. No part of recyclables, it will be municipal transfer station. There's been preliminary discussions about how we incorporate our stuff into their spot. Our trash. That's still to be worked out with. They're trying to come up with just some basic ground rules. Who's gonna be in charge? We're talking about doing, traffic studies. So we get an idea of what current conditions are, what their proposals are. You know, I'm a simple guy, 2,000 tons a day. I'm a truck that hauls 15 tons around. What I figured that was gonna be, 100 trailers, 100 trucks. About 13 an hour,
13 trucks an
an
hour.
hour,
And that's a 12-hour day.
12-hour day.
Are they putting in a separate track or they're gonna use the
Their
existing track?
proposal is to extend the end of the line past where the train is now and use the current tracks.
But keep in mind, all that trash will be going right through Kingston on.
Well, I'm just
regular
thinking they have
train
to work
line.
on off hours. We don't have to listen to the.
No,
train
that's not
whistle.
true. They've told us preliminary, they've talked to the MBTA and the CDX, where they have permission to run the rails during the daytime
When there's no.
when there's no.
No.
When you get to Halifax or maybe West Bridgewater, there's double tracks.
Mhm.
So if they were ever heading out, they could get on the other track, let the commuter rail come by and get on the tracks. Once again, that is their business, none of our business. Well, the question is when they first proposed this, my thing was the same thing you just said, is after hours, that's more train tracks through the middle of the night. No, that's not what they're doing.
What did they say?
That's
what they said.
I
Cars?
don't know.
I
They're
mean,
gonna
to
have their
pull
own
over
cars.
to the side, they're gonna have to have their own engine.
They're gonna have their own, right, that's,
Okay.
they need to work that out with whoever they need to work it out with.
Okay, but for us, there's no impact on our recycling that we know of.
No.
It's just our trash that may end up there instead of being sent to CMAS, which would that reduce the cost of trash disposal? Per ton?
It all depends on what the host community agreement is.
Okay.
If we're asking them to take all our tonnage
Mhm.
and pay for that, that might take away from some of the host community agreement money that's available. Simple math, 2,000 tons a day, 365 is around 600,000 tons a year.
Yeah.
Some host community agreements have, you're gonna give us $1 a ton for the first 1,000 ton. And then after that, you're gonna give us $2 a ton. Plus, Valley's trying to come up with some monies for road improvements, so the roads don't get failed. And we have going forward, somebody subsidizing road repairs.
Okay, so that's all town road to the T station now.
Yes,
It
Cranberry
used to
Road,
be-
Marion,
Didn't
and
it used
Gap.
to be private or?
Back in '96, when the state when MBCA came down, the MBTA took control of those two roads. They did all the drainage improvements, they improved it all.
Mhm.
And then 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this town meeting voted to take those roads back. 'Cause
So are they in good condition now?
we just got done resurfacing them and painting them. They're pristine.
Okay,
Now, there is another developer up there that was bringing a lot of tractor trailers in.
yeah.
So like I said, we're still very preliminary stage. We're
Okay.
thinking 24.
Well, where I'm headed here is, we've been talking about pay as you throw for quite some time.
Yeah.
And obviously, this could have some impact on the benefits of doing pay as you throw. And the whole point of pay as you throw is to get more material into the recycling stream and out of the trash. But if the costs go down, it could impact our argument for trying to go with pay as you throw.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm headed with all this, is to just see how it's going to impact us and our mission and what we've talked about.
They're still around probably 2 years out, maybe 3 years out. So we are getting closer to that deadline with Siemens.
Right, right.
My opinion was we're gonna still talk to CMAS until December 31st. So when CMAS gives us the $22,000 a month check or bill that we usually, instead of the town of Kingston paying for it, we give it to them, they pay for it. I have no idea.
Okay.
We're still trying to get some basic ground rules on
Mhm.
not only the houses at the transfer station use, but all the houses in town that don't use our transfer station.
Well, I'm thinking too of the impact on your budget for your trucks. The amount of time that your drivers are now spending taking those trucks to see mass coming back. It's all a budget issue.
It is.
Are they union?
No, I have no idea yet. I haven't got that far.
No, your drivers here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's gonna impact you too.
Mhm.
The union has something to say.
Yeah.
Because their hours are gonna go down.
Okay.
Nice. All right, their hours aren't gonna go down. We're still gonna generate the same amount of trash we generate. Whether or not they take that trash to CMAS, or whether they take it to this facility is the only difference in operations that I see.
Mhm.
Once again, the residents that we get into transfer station, we know that. It's what's gonna happen for the people that aren't using that transfer station. When they first came to town, they're gonna offer free trash rate services for the town. Well, having 2 conversations with them, they're kind of backing away from that statement because you throw it out there, okay, how you gonna do it? Are you gonna go hire your own private contractor to go through town? Are you gonna use the private contractors, make a deal with them to go through town? This is all stuff that needs to be hammered out on negotiation side.
Right, because that could impact very much on the amount of material that's recycled, where it's recycled. Today in the Plymouth paper, they were talking about the event they're having September 21st. You're probably involved with that, Todd, in Plymouth. No, it's a big recycle day, but you should see the rates. I mean, the mattress was 45, a refrigerator, I think, was $60. Trying to get even 10 or 15 for an air conditioner. I mean, it was
We're fortunate that
significant.
the rates we have on offer at our station is
a pretty
pretty
decent.
reasonable.
Yeah, but
We're
that's
not making-
because you negotiated them, right?
Well, I'm not making a profit for every mattress.
Right.
Whatever it's costing us
It
pulling out
is.
is what we turn out to the residents.
All right.
But we're still not capturing 50% of the recyclables or trash generated in this town.
No, we're not. And in a way, it might help to have that recycle bin in front of everybody's house and then make it easier to monitor.
Yeah.
But what about the materials that can't go in that bin? How is that? So there's lots of questions
Well, yeah,
that
this-
I have about this whole arrangement and how it's going to impact the recycling issue, which obviously is our bailiwick.
Well, I'm assuming that when they go through DEP for their permitting, that's gonna be brought up at that stage also.
I have a question. Remember a long time ago, they were talking about putting in an additional off ramp? Remember?
Yeah,
like,
that was for the 600 houses, yeah.
So would it be possible to get an off ramp off of either 44 or 383 to go directly there so that that's not coming across town road?
I don't know if that's a
That would
proposal.
be
There's
pretty
a-
Wait, you
expensive.
said something about extending the track, meaning it would go to a different depot?
No.
That would just be there.
Right now, the track ends at the T station.
Right,
In order for these guys to do what they need to do, they need to extend that track onto Mary's property,
Into the building.
into the
they're
building where
saying.
they're gonna put it all on rail cars.
Yeah,
So
so it'd be like
there's
an extension.
costs associated with that.
Yeah.
So the facility that my nephew drove to the train tracks, they had the containers and they had a forklift, they lift the container off. So it's all closed the entire time, or are they talking about building a building and having a dump and floor like Siemens?
That's
Because
the
it's
point.
like that's completely different
models.
things.
Mm.
Because the sealed containers, no big deal, it's a traffic issue, but dumping floor, that brings a whole host of other issues.
and we're on the aquifer down there too, so everything that oozes out of the back of those trucks is just going right into the groundwater.
Their proposal is have a dumping floor like cement. Load into rail cars. Close the rail cars up, bring them outside, bring the empty ones in. Then when the ones are outside, bring it to wherever they're gonna bring
Yeah,
it.
so the trash trucks currently being used aren't fitted to be able to dump directly into a rail car.
It depends on the setup. Well, we have to set that up at a transfer station site for rail. One is you bring the rail cars in, they're at ground level, and then they take a piece of machinery and dump it in there. The other way is to dig a hole, a trench, then they bring the rail cars in and they're below the floor level.
So
and you
the
can
trash
turn right
truck
into
can
it.
empty right in.
Yeah, so there's two
What do
ways
they
to
have in
do it.
Braintree?
Or it's, you know, so-
I have a feeling,
No,
I have a feeling, it looks like the trucks go up an incline to
They
empty.
could, but the problem is you get garbage juice and stuff on that floor, it gets pretty slick.
Oh, I know.
So.
I know.
Yeah, but they have
Usually you wanna-
squeegees on the loaders to squeege that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. The easiest way is to have. them
It is.
below ground level.
All the more reason for people to separate their organic.
You're right.
Well,
And get-
but this facility, they came loaded. And all he did was pick the car up, pick the roll off up and
Yeah, but
put it
that's not
on
what
the
our
train.
trash,
car.
that's not what our trash.
That's
truck is.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
That's
like an intermodal. So, yeah, they do
Yeah.
the trailers and.
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, this is-
Yeah, This is different.
They
Just
wanna
the
use
trash
regular
truck, right?
packing trucks, the regular trash trucks.
Yeah.
No roll-offs, no trailers. Well, now that could change, just like I
Right,
said, these are all
right,
preliminary discussion. And if we have to bring our 85 cubic yard ejection trailers to that site, we don't have to take those trailers. But that's all stuff that's gonna be negotiated out first.
Okay.
Whether or not they, is it in ground, above ground, that's totally up to their
Yeah,
engineers to
that's their
decide.
Yeah, okay. Would it be helpful to have Sean come with you, John?
I think next week, next month he'll come,
Okay,
just so I can introduce everybody. Now,
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big change there, because I'm also losing Al. Al's getting stuff up there, and Chris is capable of doing this job. Just
Yeah,
hoping
Al's
he's-
never been to any of our meetings.
Because, meetings during the day now, and
Right,
I need him up
up
there,
there during the day.
especially now today, I just have somebody back in 6. So.
Great.
But I'll bring in Sean next month,
Okay,
just like I said, put names to faces, he knows most of you.
he went to school with my sons.
But pretty much, if we can leave all the heavy lifting to the next person that comes through the door.
Yeah.
Because right now, he's gonna run operations through the whole winter.
Right.
He's never done that before.
Mm.
He's done the foreman job very well. But he's taking on my aspect of it now. He's a little stressed and we're trying to talk him off the ledge. I'm hoping that for the last 2 years, we all know we've had a winter.
Well, we just need him to understand what we do
Yeah.
here and have a go-to person, should there be an issue that we
Yeah.
need help with, but certainly we'll respect his temporary position.
And I've asked the town, talking to my wife, whether or not I want to take this phone number with me. Had for 26.
Had it in here. It's
I know
a
you
speed
do,
dial.
but you gotta remember now, I can see who's calling, I
I
can,
know.
but. I've
I'll
had it
change
for-
my name. I'll change my name.
I've had- I've had the same number for 27 years.
Yeah.
I
You're
know it's
gonna get
a,
calls if you keep.
I know it's a town phone number, but everybody in my family knows that's my number.
Yeah.
So my wife and I are talking about the pros and cons of either keeping the number or going down to the cell phone store and saying, okay, give me a whole new.
Well, there's.
Right now, right
Pros
now,
and
we're
cons.
kind of leaning toward keeping the number.
Yeah.
Because I could always make a voicemail saying that You know, happy for me, I retired from the town of Kingston. If you need help with the town of Kingston, please park the office at that number.
Are you gonna drive? For snow removal?
I was approached last Friday. So I went
How do
home,
you know it's an issue?
I went over and talked to them. I went home and talked to my wife about it. She said it was okay to begin with.
And then she had second thoughts.
Well, because I mean, the last 2 winters have been nothing. But in 2015, we were gone for 120 hours a week.
Yeah, they're suggesting it could be ahead of snow seasons.
Part of me would like to sit this one out
I don't
for
know.
29 winters. I was the one that had to worry about getting the buses to the schools, getting the sidewalks.
But all you have to worry about is cleaning off that road. And you
No,
know,
they're still gonna
and
arrive.
you know how
Drive for the
difficult-
state or drive for something
Well,
else and
it's very
then.
difficult getting drivers.
It is-
Across everywhere though, the state has a hard, if you're a driver, you. can
I
go
don't have my
anywhere.
CDL license anymore,
Oh,
so.
We just
Oh.
grandfathered you in.
So one of the contractors we have says, well, my trucks are a little lower, a little smaller than the 26,000 GVW need. for
So you don't need
CDL.
one.
So I don't need it.
Oh, okay, well,
But
that's
you could
settled.
get that in a short order.
Yeah,
It's about $8,000 in the school now.
Oh, really?
oh, wow.
I was on a seminar last week.
That is outrageous.
Yeah.
The state is trying to start doing something now where towns can start training their own employees to try to be a CDL driver. But there's a lot of jumps and whistles you gotta go do. And we're a small town. Is it really worth our
Doing
money
it,
to
yeah.
do this?
Yeah.
But I would think that the state, because it's a shortage everywhere,
Yes.
that the state would say, you know what, we're gonna train you if you'll give us 5 years or something.
Well, the issue with, and Keith and I have talked about that here with trying to hire here with people, there's a lot of kids going through Silver Lake that are not gonna go to college. Okay, so hey, we could use here. So trying to see if we can get them to come in. And if we have to send them to training school, okay, if we pay for your school, how long are we gonna sign you up?
Right.
Make it a community college thing and it's, oh no, they're too young. Over 25, if it's in a community college program, go for free.
These are all things that, like I said,
Are being discussed, okay.
discuss, they're ideas to have here because this is gonna impact a lot of people now, which,
Sure,
but like I said, give me a couple of months on the down low and
okay,
I'll come back.
yeah. Mary
How
Ann,
many-
make sure you get that.
Pina coladas in Dominican Republic.
Two
Who's gonna
months
like
having
us
him
a
hanging
lot?
around
He
the
would love
house,
us.
she'll
to
be
get
like,
back.
Oh, that's-
okay.
That's something, I've talked to some people that retired. And that's one of the big issues where she works at home.
Yeah.
But, and I can't sit on the couch. I've never been able to do that in my entire life. So she works from home and our house is all open, so there's no privacy. That's
You're
gonna be
gonna be
tough.
looking for something.
Yeah.
But that have to be full-time, but you're gonna be looking.
She's gonna be looking for something.
Well, I've been,
Yeah.
Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, that's big.
I've been offered a plow job. I've offered 2 other jobs, but those don't start till the spring.
And I've offered you a wonderful opportunity.
Walmart's down the street.
So
Oh.
before you leave,
Don't retirees go there?
signage,
My last thing for this committee is to get the signs ordered.
okay.
Are we skipping now to the next, number 5? Or are we still?
Well,
on
we're wrapping
five?
up because I gotta get to the
Well,
town meeting.
it's here and,
Hit me while you can.
okay,
And I got the list of signs and I know I see the date is.
okay, all right. So, you said the response to our, four function bottle openers was lukewarm. Yeah.
A lot of, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people said no, thanks.
Yeah,
Where
that's fine.
last year with the bags,
They wanted.
they wanted.
Yeah.
And I said to them, one of them wanted a hemp bag, so,
Call Gene. Here's his number.
We can either, use what funding we have for reusable shopping bags. These are the ones that we've been doing or.
Not for
cheaper
20 bucks a
version.
bag.
Well, they were
was
over
crazy.
10.
Yeah.
That's
think
crazy
we're
for
over
those
10.
bags.
And I told you last month, I saw a woman using them to take her recyclables to the transfer station. But they're very functional. I think they're holding up well. I've been using some of them probably 3 or 4 years and they're still, very functional.
Yeah, the insulation bag that we got a couple years ago.
Yeah, but they're so
Yeah.
expensive. expensive, and we were only able to provide like 1,500, and you hand out over 3,000 stickers, so.
Yeah.
You know, the second half didn't
First come,
benefit
first
from that,
The
so,
bird catches the worm.
yeah, yeah. Okay, do you have any other things for us?
No, I think everything is,
All right,
now, I'm gonna ask for your help for Sean next spring. Especially doing Todd stuff. Like I said, Sean, Lynn can help him, but
mhm,
Sean's never done before, so I'm
Right.
thinking.
I'll train him.
Have you come down.
Yep.
okay.
I'm trying to talk to
Is he gonna
Keith.
buy me lunch?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm trying to talk to Keith to make sure that my email stays active,
Mhm,
because a lot of stuff, of recycling, a lot of my contacts are in my email. And a lot of history about where we are today on certain road
Right.
jobs.
Right,
Now, it's been a history in this town that as soon as the employee leaves,
they shut
we
you
shut
down
everything off, and
Yeah.
that's gonna put him in a bit of,
at disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Are you starting to CC him on everything?
everything, because I don't want him to be blindsided.
No.
And I'm
no.
trying to, we do have some engineering going on now, was a road job or two that I'm trying to get all that done, so all he has, it's gonna, I wanted to focus on the winter. The other stuff should take care of itself for the winter. Now, some things pop up, as we always know,
Right.
but I don't want him to fail first thing out of the chute.
No.
If he fails, the town fails. I don't want this town failing.
Yeah. Well, certainly, you know, if there's anything related to recycling, we can help in any way. I mean, I don't. Not sure, but certainly, you know, come January, I usually compile everything
Yeah.
that we did during the year. So that, and Todd will remind me whatever he needs for the reports. So obviously
Well,
we'll,
and
you know, do what we can.
I think he knows a little more about computer stuff than I do, so that should help all you guys, but.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, he's gonna be pulling his hair out because he's never taken on this responsibility.
Right, right. No, it's a transition.
And
Okay.
if I didn't think he was capable of doing it,
Mhm.
I would have said it, but he's capable of doing it.
And
Now,
weren't you that age or younger?
I was 36 when I took over, and the last guy that I took over for never said he was leaving. He just walked out one day and never came back.
We'll see. So you have some transition.
That's right, so I never had somebody I could call and say, hey, what about this, what about that? Where I said to him, and Lynn, listen, I'll take your calls, just give me the first 2 weeks when you go away. But, you know, I'm not gonna leave anywhere. I'm not leaving in spiteful. I just, it's time for me to retire.
Mhm.
I want that department to keep shining
Of course.
until the
That's
next
your
person. comes.
legacy.
No,
It is.
my legacy is the 4 kids that I raised.
Well, that is.
I've been a steward for the town for my
Mhm.
duration, and I think in my retirement letter, I put in a couple of highlights about what I'm most proud of, and the transfer station is one of them. You know, with engineering, that the way we did it, when we did it, saved this town a lot of money.
And
And
people like
it's
to
so
come to look
functional.
at it. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
it's
And it's
so
so
functional.
We're all,
Yeah.
you guys are all
Functional.
stars now.
It's very functional, which is what I think most people say when they visit, is like, this is so easy.
And it's still functional 10 years, 11 years after we did it.
It was very well designed, you know. So Paul, how did, who had sent this out? It was about DEP and their program. Todd, did you send, yeah, Todd, you sent this out about the software third-party index, and then Paul responded
did.
to me that
Claire
Claire
does that.
usually provides.
Claire does that, so Claire jumped the gun again and paid $4.95 for it when she could have gotten it for $50. It's her DEP.
Don't say that.
This is the second, or no, it's the third year we've done this, where the state actually works out like $8,000 or $6,000. And then the municipality's gonna
Can
$50.
go.
It's a $50 fee as opposed to
Really?
500, yeah,
Okay.
so. And it's working out pretty well, so people
Okay,
that go up for
Because
contracts.
we did
are-
pay
yeah.
for it one year and,
Yeah, we did it
out
on
of
DEP.
RDP.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of RDP.
It's not
So,
bad to have it for
I just
yourself,
wanted
but
to be sure that you didn't think that was something you needed, that's all. I mean, we've got the money. done.
Well, like I said, Claire's usually does that. So every month she sends something out saying these are the monthly numbers.
yeah, she does.
Okay.
it, so.
All right, are we ready to move on?
I just say one comment.
Sure.
Thank you for your service. You have been a big asset to the town.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that. And as someone who's retired, I miss the crazy IT stuff, you
You
know.
do?
it- a little, it's a sick thing to say, but it's like, you know, so neither of us are the kind of person who likes to sit on the couch. And you're gonna be bored. So
Well,
you're
I see
gonna
what
want
she does as a
something to do.
retired individual.
I know, no kidding.
Well, we're all retired.
Right,
Yeah.
you guys all are.
Yeah.
This is what
I
makes the
feel
town
left
a
out. I
community.
feel like I should retire now too.
You're way too young and you haven't done this
Not
long
yet.
enough.
Not yet, Todd. You still need to.
I've been in the.
You need the
salt lake industry
healthcare,
longer
stay in the
than you have.
job.
Yeah.
I've been around since I was 3.
All right. All right. So can we move on to our social media manager, our outreach? I've had some back and forth emails. I did share with you some of the emails that she sent to us, trying to figure out how to make our Facebook page look good, what to include on there. Did I send you my responses too? So you know what I was responding to her?
No, I didn't see the responses, but I also wanted to just ask, how do you join? I mean, I went to the page, but I don't see how you join. What do you join?
I think you just like it.
Yeah, you like it.
Oh, that's joining?
I think
She just said like.
yeah. Because then I,
For JOIN.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you just like it, and
Okay.
because she wanted me to like it, because then she can make me the co-administrator of it. But it's gonna be about recycling in general. I told her right up front, I want her to explain
Oh,
why we recycle. Where does that material go? You know, lay the groundwork is before you get into the specifics of what you can recycle and what you can't recycle. She was looking for phone and email, and I keep saying, refer people back to our website page.
Yes.
You know, get people used to looking at our web page. Don't put it all on Facebook. Facebook is just kind of a leader, but it shouldn't be the
Always
sole
been the
source of information. So I also want to ask her to be sure that she puts the link to our web page on every posting she does.
And specific pages depending on where you want them to land. So for example, this was something that we talked about in Boston and one of our Boston MAC meetings was that we don't necessarily, and I've been promoting this wrong, I've been sending people to Recycle Smart MA when it should be going to the town website, Recycle Smart page. So it should be going to your page first, and then they should be able to find it there. So that's kind of the point the DEP is getting at. We don't want people just to go to our site. We want them to go to your page first, get used to it, because your information might be different from Halifax, which is different from Plymouth. So they really should be pushing your pages first.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who've never looked at our webpage. We have all those
They go to Facebook
links.
first.
We have all those links on there. So I don't want people to just look at Facebook. I want them to say, oh, okay, there's more information here. I want them to keep going there. She was looking for, she was talking about putting the recycling center hours on there and go, no. Send them to the Facebook page because it or to web page because it changes depending on holidays and other things. I don't want us to be the source on our Facebook page for everything. And she was asking about the banner. I had sent her a picture, you know, the house at the nook that's out on the wharf.
Uh-huh.
And she said she couldn't use that. Number one, she wasn't sure if it was a royalty picture. It wasn't the right size, so she was looking for what she should use on there. She did I had sent her a picture of our reusable shopping bags, and she did have that on there too. So she was looking for feedback, and what I said to her was, let me meet with my committee and see what they think about all that. So I thought I sent it to all of you to take a look at.
I saw where you put that you wanted it to be why recycle what gets reused into what
Mhm.
products.
Okay,
If there was more than that, I didn't see it. But
okay.
if that was the whole,
We want people to learn more about recycling. Let me see. Let me see what the other members think about the banner. So that was on September 7th, Saturday, just Saturday. So.
yeah, I
made
think
up-
that's when I went in and tried to find the word JOIN. But I did like it. IKE, I did.
Alright.
Well, now you remember, see that?
So please take a look at that. I'm pretty sure I sent that one to you. Take a look at it. She's looking for the banner for our
I think just like some of the signs, what is glass recycle? What is?
But she's looking for a consistent banner so people would recognize our Facebook page. We can put the other stuff, on there too, but I think she's just looking. Todd, do you have any recommendations? I mean,
I
do you know what
use the
other
Kingston
other
Recycles
towns do?
logo, or like, that's a set, I mean, I think some of the signs would be pretty cool as long as they're new and they look good. The one thing I'm questioning though is if you use the picture of the house, that shouldn't have royalties because you're not making money on
If it's a
Typically,
copyright, if it's under a copyright, but if we just took it with our phone,
it. But if it's.
then we would own it.
Yeah,
And then we
well-
could say, here, just put it on. I give you permission for my
Yeah.
phone.
I mean,
It's
she was just
copyrighted.
looking for a picture that people would instantly recognize as being Kingston. And I thought that was pretty distinctive. Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, that's.
do you know how many people have never driven by town hall?
It's kind of off the beaten path, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's too bad, I mean.
Yeah, I think she does have one with town hall on it.
I mean, you could do town hall with a nice logo, the Kingston Recycles logo
Yeah.
next to it, kind of.
Well, I think she also had the town seal. Probably.
But what do we have? I don't even remember. Is there a sign going down that road, like Kingston, the whole Kingston recycling disposal, whatever?
Not really, not till you get to it.
Not to get too.
Even that, I
It's
mean.
ugly.
up-
It's
okay.
ugly.
Yeah, it needs to be.
Yeah, that sign is really old.
Yeah.
What about an aerial view of the
Transfer station?
I think we'll give it.
Like- like the,
Nah, no one will go like, oh, I recognize that immediately.
Probably not.
I mean, I even, like, I always think you should put things in that shape to really, like, we know the shape of France, we know the shape of, Massachusetts, but I just think if we could get more people to understand the shape of Kingston, I mean, it is really cool. And the other part, I think, is to build on the fact that we're the only K town
The only K town in the state.
in the whole state. I saw someone with one of those magnets on their car that was
Special
the
K.
K with the zip code. And I thought, I wonder if that's an association that's doing that or whatever, but I just think, yeah, K, who do you think of? Oh, Kingston, Massachusetts. Although when I first was moving down here, people said, Kingston, Jamaica?
Yes, exactly.
Rhode Island or Rhode Island.
Right, and then also at the library, we got a call that somebody was stuck inside the gate at the library. I don't know if the gate at the library, it was the police or someone, it was supposed to
Kingston,
be
New York.
Kingston, New York.
Yeah.
Someone was stuck in a library
There's a
gate. They were like,
Kingston in
"We
almost
can't help
every
ya."
state.
Not as many as Springfield. Springfield's
Okay.
got the map.
So take a moment, look at what she sent us. I wrote down your suggestions. What we want there is so people recognize it's our Facebook page. And, anything else that you have comments on. I told her, to just refer people to our webpage if they need a link, just you to contact. It all comes from me anyway, but I don't want it on Facebook. I want them to look on our webpage for that.
So is there a link to the, like, that newsletter that you wrote is on our
Our webpage.
Is
Yep.
it, and is it linked on the top of the town webpage somehow, or no?
If you put in search,
But I'm wondering if we can also go through and index that so that questions would lead back to components of that, if that's
That's all
something
gonna
she could
change
do.
very soon when AI gets kicked in. So it's gonna be very intuitive.
Yeah, but that's a long report, but it's got so much great information in it. And I'm just kind of wondering if someone's like, like, oh, here's what, if you want to learn
you
about
would have
this
to
part.
talk to
Jenna?
town clerk's office,
Jenna,
Jen,
Jen,
to see what the town software is capable of doing, and it's not capable of doing.
Okay.
So we're gonna start getting bills from her. Remember, she was charging us $25 an hour. She thought she'd be spending a little bit upfront to set it up, and there's a charge for the Facebook page. But I was wondering if you'd be willing to authorize me to be the sole signature in that again, like we do with Black Earth, where it's gonna be coming every month. And as soon as I get the bill, I send it over to be paid timely. Because sometimes the bills come right after our meeting. And then I have to wait a month to get you guys. to
And so by doing that with Black Earth, we don't have to sign those pages anymore, right?
Right, I
And that would do
can,
the
I can
same
do
thing
it.
that,
It's just an authorization that the committee signs, and that's what we did for Black Earth, saying that I can be the sole signature on those recurring expenses.
so
And
I
I-
will make a motion. You have to help me with the wording on this.
You want to read it?
How the motion goes, or If you please. Right, hold on. The recycling, oh, we have to sign it and give it back.
Mhm.
The recycling committee votes to accept the chairman as the authorized signatory for any invoices from Jess Wozniak needing to be paid from the recycling committee funds. In the event of the absence of the chairman, at least 3 members of the committee can authorize payment. I move.
What you just read. Okay, once we sign it, I'll make a copy and you can, you'll all have it. David, you look skeptical. You don't trust me?
What I've heard about you, I just.
So I guess he's gonna second it then.
There's a second.
All right, any discussion? Okay, it does ensure that they get paid timely. So no matter when the bill comes in, I can sign it and get it right over.
Especially with Black Earth, because as soon as they dump that thing in the,
Oh, we get the bill. We get the bill.
yeah, as soon as they dump it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Sunday.
Dave,
Yeah, and they
throw
follow
me that
up.
tree real quick. I think I found what it is.
All right, so can we have to vote before you sign, David?
Oh,
Did you
no, yeah.
second? David seconded.
second.
Okay, so no need to vote.
Oh, we didn't,
Seconded. We
we didn't
didn't
vote.
vote.
What are we waiting for?
We're waiting to vote.
Well, yeah, well, you stop talking, then maybe you can run the meeting.
Oh.
Boy, he's spicy this
Yeah.
morning, huh? Woo. All right, Vanessa,
Vanessa, I.
That's exactly
David?
what it is.
I,
What is it?
reluctantly, aye?
no,
No, okay,
Gene, I.
and Jean, aye. All
Absence.
right.
Can
now
I-
you
may I
can-
sign?
Huh?
may I sign now?
Now you
Not
can
to talk.
sign. Huh? What do you think it is, Todd?
It's palm leaf.
It's what?
Palm leaf. Exactly the
Lovely.
same.
There it is.
You can bring a bunch back.
So,
Looking up
So-
at palm leaf, it's a palm leaf, so I clicked on palm leaf. I'm like, this is exactly what it is.
so is it recyclable?
That's what he's gonna look up
I'm
next.
trying, I'm gonna find it. Now I know what it is.
I mean, it's organic.
But,
Right.
so palm trees, leaves, stumps are not
I'll be
recyclable.
right,
That's
They're not compostable.
I'll be right back.
because it's
Heaven
dense.
knows.
So in California, when you drop off your yard waste, because everyone's got palm trees in their yard.
do.
You cannot recycle it.
It has to go in the trash.
Yeah.
Really?
So that's trash.
I'm guessing it is, but I don't know. Let me look up.
It's being sold as recycling.
Or is it being sold as organic or?
Compostable?
I think so.
That's how long it takes for this to break down in a compost pile.
Okay, so here's what it says.
84 years.
Palm leaf plates are biodegradable and compostable, making them perfect for single-use plates. Just throw them away like any other disposable plate. They will break down naturally in landfills.
Okay, but
They
we're
go in
not
the
putting it
landfill.
in the landfill.
They go in the landfill.
So they go in the trash and get burned.
Apparently, yes. I need to get to this next department head meeting.
Vertera,
So we can discuss them on tonight's trends.
pressed natural palm leaf. They're made from fallen palm.
Really? I gotta say, that is pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. That's very stern stuff. This is exactly what it is. I'm looking at the tray right now, actually.
It's solid, it's not flimsy.
No. Yeah, this is where they, look at, they got different style trays.
I wonder if they're doing this in school systems now.
Can't see the stuff breaking down. Over even, it's gotta take decades.
Well, you know what, we could reach out to
Black Earth,
Black Earth and see.
talk to Black Earth about it.
Are you familiar with this stuff?
Hmm?
Are you familiar with that?
Not
So you said it was palm leaf?
palm leaf.
And would go. And would go.
Have fun. Oh, yeah. Good to lunch soon. Can we get a break?
We should.
So what do they use as a binder?
They just compress them. I don't know what it doesn't say what the binders. There's no chemicals or synthetic materials.
Okay.
They're microwave safe within reason.
What does that say?
Palm leaf plates are microwave safe for up to 2 minutes on high, or an oven up to 350 degrees for 45 minutes.
What?
Really?
Holy cow.
So you're not gonna set it on fire right away?
No, 45 minutes at 350.
That's a lot.
That's intense.
Huh.
Well, I know palm trees don't burn very well.
I know, but don't you think
So-
it's going to give off a flavor or something if you put food directly
Well, they
on it
say
in
they-
the oven?
In the oven, I
Wait,
would
what's
think
the
so.
question? Oh, are we still talking about the palm?
We are.
And how's it
We're
glued? Do
just
they say
trying
how
to
it's
figure
glued?
out,
Ah, it's
you know,
compressed.
Yeah, I think
whether
that's
or not
cool.
you can
Pressure and
compost
heat.
it or, you know,
Doesn't say you can compost, it says it goes in the landfill and breaks down there, so I don't,
okay, well, I certainly will run it by Blackwood.
talk to them about that.
I would probably put it in wood,
No,
wherever
you
wood
can't.
goes. Why? It said no wood?
Palm, you cannot put palm leaves or palm trees in a compost pile, they will never break down.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
that's one thing that's not accepted in the green waste or yard waste in California, and I know that because we've been doing yard waste there for 50 years,
Right.
but this stuff is trash.
It's interesting because, I mean, in a way, it's great recycling because there's tons of those leaves. But I have a friend who has a son with disabilities and can have seizures. And so they did bamboo counters and bamboo floor. Which again, it's like that where it just doesn't really break down and, but it's not tile and it's not hardwoods and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So in a way, it's recycling. It just came to the end of its life.
Composting environment.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna say yes. They need to be at a commercial composting facility to break
But
down.
isn't that what Black Earth is?
They are, so, but I would talk to them first.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. But
Alright.
whenever it says commercial, I
really
think that's what we're paying for.
right.
Interesting stuff.
Okay, so, moving on, anybody have anything on grant funds? Todd, do you have any update for us on grants?
No, but I'm hoping we're gonna hear at the Match Recycle event.
And that is September 18th, okay.
15th, 18th,
I
right
think
in
I'll
there.
put it on my upcoming events.
Next
Right.
week,
Minutes.
next Wednesday, or it's the day that Claire's meeting is, so it's next Wednesday, right?
Yes,
They're
Is that nice?
simultaneous.
At DCU Center in Worcester.
okay. So you'll be there instead of at Claire's meeting? Yes.
I'll be at Claire's meeting online and then.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah,
be at
that's
home,
okay.
because I can say like an hour.
And is your meeting a whole day thing? Is it like a whole workshop thing or is it just an hour
The
meeting?
DCU thing?
Yeah,
No, that's an event. It's a conference and awards ceremony. It's their fall awards ceremony.
so you have speakers all day or you just have exhibits or?
No, it starts at 5:30, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
And it goes till like 8, yeah. It's just it's an evening. like,
okay, a
thing.
dinner.
They do
Okay.
all their awards that night, so a bunch of awards. Janine's getting one. She's getting a lifetime award. A couple other people. And, our fellow retirees is getting
Rosemary?
Rosemary Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claire and I submitted her name and she got it. So.
Good, okay.
She will not be there though.
Is she on? No, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
I am too, because I adore her.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. Okay.
Right, so no real update except that we may have good news from you on the telephone. No, how will you find out?
What?
How will we be notified if we got it or not on the 18th?
Oh, it'll
Call
be
us?
publicized. Everyone will get it. It goes out from the commissioner's office as a press release. So
The next morning.
it might be made that day.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'm not privy to that information. I do
Okay.
know it's sitting on the commissioner's desk right now and whatever she does
Okay.
with it, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, because there was another announcement of some grants and I asked Todd if that was the group we were in and he said, no, it was.
No,
you
that
know,
was,
this
that
is
was,
still-
that was a different grant.
Yeah,
It's,
okay.
it's somewhat our group, but it's really John, it's not John Fisher's, it's what's her name, so, or John Fisher's.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right,
Everett manages it.
so, and I haven't gotten word that we've gotten, is that when the other, the regular RDP?
RDP and Smurf, yeah, I'm hoping it's all announced at the same time.
Okay.
So, once again, I'm not. privy to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Wish
we
I
know we're
was.
getting 7,800, right? It's just a matter of when.
I think you're getting the full amount, because there wasn't any questions, I think, that you guys got asked from Boston this year.
No,
So
No, so the
there
7,800.
shouldn't be anything lumped off.
Yeah, well, we lost the yard waste point because they took that off.
That was everyone lost. it.
Yeah, so it reduced us from 84 to 78.
Yeah.
Okay,
We did have our annual MAC meeting together at Irene's house last Thursday. And it was Thursday, and we went through kind of the proposed changes for this next year.
okay.
Actually, we're not gonna have any changes. We went through the stuff that we need a little bit more information.
Mhm.
And then we're getting it back to Boston, I think today, because we just went through the notes yesterday, but, and so they might make some minor updates to this next round.
To the RDP.
Yeah, but nothing crazy this year. We're trying to get some more stuff on for fiscal year 26, which is actually, now it's gonna be called spring. 26.
Okay, those are things we've talked with you about. before.
Yeah.
Right. Well, once we get our swap shop up and running, we'll be back with some additional point or two.
Yeah, there's also the, in that same category though, you've got the library of things, which you guys put on it, so
Yeah,
still have that. So. and
okay,
there's-
so that's
there's
in
other
the
stuff
same
that they-
category?
Yeah,
So-
what they did is, so they upped the, some of the activities this year that you have
Mm-hmm.
to do, so like someone from 6 to 8, someone from like 5 to 6. But they've added more activities, so there's a bunch more in there this year.
Okay, so that's not really gonna bump us up dollar wise.
It's not gonna bump you up dollar wise, no.
Okay,
The minimum, the smallest point is definitely going up to 600 though, which is good, so.
okay, so I think this year, we just got 1 point and it's possible to get 2. So permanent swap shop. And the library of things.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then,
so
I'm not sure what that's gonna shake out to look like this
Well,
year.
you know what?
because
a permanent swap shop is 2 points.
Yes,
So, so that's 2 points we didn't get this past year.
That
So
was
that's
last
another
year.
1,200.
exactly.
So that would take us to 9. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, the swap shop might just go to 1 point depending on if it's year round or not. So,
It's 2
like I
right
said,
now.
it is right now. There's always some changes and
Okay.
there's some stuff in there that did make the max pretty upset that we did discuss at length. So we're gonna try
Okay.
and, we're fighting to get some of the stuff back.
Okay.
There are some budget constraints this
All
next
right.
year.
Okay, so when do you think decisions would be made on those recommendations?
Really soon because they're supposed to come out, the final, the announcement of spring 26 is supposed to be done right around the same time that the awards come out. So that way everyone can start prepping for this next year.
So
what they've
within
done
a
is
month or so, we would know?
probably less.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
But
okay.
you said the awards are September 18th.
That's the
And
awards
then-
for, that's the awards for spring 20. What are we in 24?
We're in
And there's
24.
a jump for 2 years to 26.
No, the 26 is ways out. So spring 25 is the next round of grades.
Right, but the recommendations will be implemented for 2026. Why did someone just say 2026?
Because there's some other things are coming in 2026.
Okay, so this would be for spring of
Spring
20.
25, yeah,
Okay.
that stuff should be published, I'm assuming in the next couple of weeks at the launch.
Okay,
They really worked on, when Kathy got in there, she really worked on getting RDP put out for the next round earlier than ever. And last year it did come out earlier.
because
This
it's
year
hard for a municipality to sometimes get everything in place to meet some of them.
Well,
God bless you.
releasing it in March, when it opens in March, didn't make any sense. It was like, it was too late to do any of this stuff,
Right.
especially the quarterly publish it,
Right.
quarterly promotion of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense to me. So I always fought, the last 8 years, fought to get it out the year before.
It
And
would
get
certainly
everything
make it
done.
easier for
Yeah.
us,
Sense.
you know.
Make planning and
Yeah.
Well, then you
activities
have
and
the
stuff.
full fiscal year to work on stuff instead of just like 2 months. So,
Right, you know.
I will tell you that the close date is gonna be pushed back to June 1st. June 1st falls on a Saturday or Sunday, it'll be the next Monday. So that's gonna be pushed back a week and a half. So
And
it'll be
that's
March 1st.
for the report,
No, that's for RDP and SMART.
for us to submit our report.
No, the reports are still due in February 15th or whatever.
So that's the deadline for
RDP.
activities.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
okay,
it's, yeah, essentially, it's June 30th for the activities to get them done, but the grants are gonna be due on June 1st. By June 1st, so they'll be open April 1st to June 1st.
okay. Help me understand what you just said.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know, I
so-
can't put this in the notes because I'm.
All right, so
forgetting.
RDP is the money we pay you guys, right?
Right.
That your recycling committee survives. on. Those
Well,
grants.
Paul has
also-
allowed us to use that. It comes to the town.
Yeah, I know, but the grants are open from April through June.
Of the
Okay,
next
when
year
you
or
say
3 months?
grants are open, what does that mean?
So,
To
you know,
submit an
to
application.
submit an application to get the money.
Is
Or the swap
open
shed.
from,
April 1st or right around April 1st to, it used to be mid-June,
so now June 1.
now it's gonna be June.
Okay. But the activities have to have been completed during what period?
That fiscal year,
Fiscal or finding
Fiscal.
or calendar?
fiscal,
Okay, so activities,
July 1 through June 30th. But keep in mind, since it's gonna close on June 1st, and you don't have the proof that you did the activity after that, it's gonna be tough.
so anything you do in June. Okay,
Make a note, put it in there. You know,
Alright.
We're planning on doing it.
all right. Well, we're hoping to get our swap shop up and running in late spring, as
Yeah.
soon as the weather allows us to do that. Okay.
So I had meant to, before Paul left, so the next meeting will be October 8th for
Mhm.
us.
Okay.
He'll be away. We
No,
want to make, yeah, he leaves like November.
November.
Okay. Oh, so he'll be here. But if you could bring,
Sean to that
Sean for
meeting.
that one, it would be
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna definitely need work that probably will go beyond Paul's tenure
right,
to get that,
swap up.
He said.
yeah,
he said
all
he
the
was-
groundwork done
Right.
before it can be delivered.
Absolutely. That was one of
So-
the thinking behind why,
Sean
we
can
need
come
Sean
and-
here.
He said he was gonna bring him next.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
and I just skipped all of October and was in the.
Well, October is Jason downstairs.
Yeah, and I downstairs in
building
this
ins-
building. and
building
what's his
inspector.
role? Oh, that Jason, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
that
just-
I had no
Jason.
idea what he was talking about.
It's the only Jason we have.
Well, I don't know that either, but okay. Um,
And
Yeah.
what's Jason gonna change jobs to?
He's going to Plymouth. He was there before.
That's what I thought.
Apparently he was heavily recruited by them. So again, our loss. Okay. So, let me see where we are. The organic collection pilot, got the bill, authorized payment the next day, so that's taken care of. I was at the transfer station Sunday. The one bin was full. The other bin was about half full. So if they picked up on Friday,
And you were there Sunday?
I was there Sunday.
So in a day and a half, it filled up.
Was it 1.5 containers were full?
That's impressive. That's good. It's starting to be.
We stay with that for a minute. How many, do you want 3 or 4 bins?
I want space for 4.
Okay, that's what I thought. We just-
Not that we'll have them right away, but I'd like to have
No, you're not,
capacity
Yeah.
so that we
I
don't have to
mean,
rebuild.
Both Michael and I have been on a commission.
I know.
He had a back problem and he had a knee problem. So I think he's on the mend.
I'll be glad to help with it.
You know what, it's, the thing is, it's so flipping simple. It's just a matter of, physically going to get the wood, digging some holes, and they don't have to be very deep because we're holding just a fence up. We're
Right,
holding,
right.
And then, what I had in mind is that providing space that we could have a really big sign that you can see from where, the containers are. And also on the side, 2 signs, but one big one, and then one on the side, just, kind of repeating what the big one says. And because now, and people drive by it, I'm sure they look at it, and go, what the hell's that? With the signage, you can't even very.
Even though they all got a yellow sheet explaining what it is and how to do it with their rules and regulations this year.
I do see plastic bags in there, and I just keep hoping that they are degradable.
Yeah, I do too.
Because
I
I
do
just
too,
wonder.
yeah.
I just
Well,
wonder.
they should give us feedback if they're not.
Yeah.
I think they would. I think they would let
Yeah.
us know
But
right away.
but more, I mean, even, I don't think so the last time I went, but Trader Joe's vegetable department was always compostable bags.
Mhm.
And more places are going towards that. And I
Stop
don't
and
know-
Shop does periodically,
Yeah.
not consistently, but
Yeah.
periodically.
Yeah.
And
That's
so, but then I worry that people don't then differentiate, I mean, they're not like always green or
Right, right, right.
always something, so.
Well, I'm hoping that people that take the time
do it all,
to
yeah.
move, to separate their material are also conscientious about what they put in there, so.
And
I'm hoping.
certain things like that can be, we have what you can't do, but, if it's gonna be so-called recyclable plastic bags, just, and make a real clear note of that. If
And we
it's
could
not-
add that to the signage that
Yeah,
we're
if
talking
it's
about.
not,
Yeah.
if it's not
Compostable.
compostable, don't
Yeah.
use it. And I noticed that there were more people using small containers for their oils, which is fine in a sense, but I know that Black Earth would prefer to have a gallon.
Well, I was
Wait, what? They would
looking for
prefer a
that.
Gallon
I
jug.
believe so.
Yeah, what I was looking for when I went Sunday was there had been an accumulation of the smaller bottles. And if they were still there, I was gonna contact Justin at Black Earth, but they were not. They were gone, but there was a big gallon container and I think another small container, so.
So you're supposed to take your remnants from an old little bottle and put it in a gallon bottle to put
No,
over
no,
there?
no, but like if you did, if you fried a turkey you would have a lot of oil. And it's
Right.
easier for them, I think, if they get a larger container than
Right,
all
okay.
these little tiny
Oh,
bottles.
yeah, of course.
But if we
Yeah,
have a
but-
bottle that we want to get
We
rid
can
of,
put it
that's
there.
fine. to
Yeah,
put
but
there.
they had been there a few weeks and
Yeah,
I
I
was a
often
little
wonder.
concerned if they didn't, what the issue was. I just wanted to find out, but they were gone. So I will believe that they picked them up.
What about doing something like, they do for the waste oil, has a big container, so you just go there and dump
Dump
it
it
Too
in.
much work, too much work. And the fact the waste container up there right now is full of oil. It's gotta get emptied somewhere, but I, I just think keep doing what we're doing. Or I mean, because you don't bring it.
Well, I mean,
add to
that's,
another container.
since I have to contact Black Earth anyway, I can ask them about that, if they would prefer one container and do they provide that or,
Yeah, if
so-
they provided it, but I
It would
don't
have to
think
be
that,
something that had a lid that would be,
Right.
yeah. And you want it to have a wide opening so that you're not pouring into like a
a
milk
little
jug
narrow thing.
where you're
yeah.
gonna spill it all on
That-
the
that
outside and
could
then
be-
nobody wants to touch
Or
it.
you can put like a funnel thing.
Then
on
it's all
top of
dirty,
it.
Yeah, but
gross
the-
stuff. No
well, the
way.
the other thing is you got a container from the weather too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a great idea, except that it's got, does it get too complicated?
Are people doing a good job at closing the lid every time? I mean, are we
Yeah.
Pretty
keeping?
much. A couple
rodents?
times I've seen it open, but I don't know if it was the wind or if somebody just
Yeah.
Because those
forgot.
flap things are pretty good. Oftentimes, because I get on, and then I have to look back and go, didn't close that, get my stuff back in the car.
I've only seen it open a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
most of
it's the
time it's
second
closed.
step, and I know the
Yeah.
big concern is the inclement weather and then the rodents down
Right,
there. I
and
don't know if
Paul
they-
has not mentioned that they've had
Yeah.
any issues down there with rodents. I know that was one of his first concerns when we proposed.
And
this.
so when you're talking about making holes for the corral, it's still gonna stay on the pavement though? I love that.
Right
I
up
don't have
against
to
the
get
It'll
dirt
be up
right up
again, it'll
against-
be adjacent to the pavement. It
But
won't
yeah,
be
I
on
just
the
Like it
really
is
like the
now.
fact that I don't have to like come back.
Oh,
with
no,
muddy
you're
shoes
you're
depending on
absolutely
the
right. No, no, it's not gonna get moved back. It's.
Yeah,
it's-
I mean, I loved it when we moved it up,
Yes,
know,
I think it's.
because on a muddy
certainly
day, I
easier.
even hate to go to the yard waste because you
Well,
just.
and there were
tracking
big
all that.
rocks and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like, no, this needs to be easy for anyone to
Yeah.
access. So I think we're good there.
Good.
When you and your son and Jean are able, that would be nice.
It'll be soon. I mean, it's,
Okay.
I've got I'm told that my thing here is, 3 to 8 weeks and I'm
Mhm.
3 weeks in.
Okay,
Well, just, 3 weeks.
yeah, you have to take it
So,
easy
Yeah, I know.
because you want those
But I
little
keep,
tendrils to connect.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
I was out at 5 o'clock this morning killing hornets.
Yeah.
There was well, I don't know what they were, but they were black, they were really nasty,
Yeah.
nasty.
The white faced ones?
Yeah,
Oh, we had those at the.
they have paper,
They're nasty.
they have paper, yeah.
That's the one.
So I'm out there and I got a flashlight and I got, and it came out in a stream and going, this isn't what I expected. And I'm trying to, and finally I just, I kept spraying the thing. I got
Yeah.
a roll of it through as well. Then I didn't.
David, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to be doing that yet.
But,
Yeah.
what I was afraid of, my beekeeping has suffered because of my inability over the last few months. And, all I could think of, if these hornets or whatever they call it, wasps of some sort, start heading for the beehive, then I'm done. Because
Yeah.
they are vicious.
They're very aggressive. The white faced ones.
Well, anyway, their nest is gone.
Okay, all right. Anything else on the pilot?
yes.
Okay,
So,
well, it's not a pilot anymore. It's a permit.
right, and we need a new contract at the
We
30th
do.
of next month.
We do.
What do we need to factor into making
Okay,
that decision?
So we had a group approach, they presented at the last South Shore Recycling Cooperative meeting. I reached out to them and never got a response. So that tells me they're not interested in even discussing a contract. So we do have a new contract that our contract expires October 31st. So, excuse me, my thinking is that we probably need to, where I'll be contacting them anyway on a couple different issues is see if they're ready to renew the next contract and if there's going to be any needed changes, because that all has to go through town council, to have them look at it and through our procurement officer. So I think now is the time to get the ball rolling on that.
Is there any
Do we-
chance to negotiate it down? Because they must have.
I can
volume
ask.
now.
I can
Whereas
ask,
2 years ago when we started,
yeah,
I know that they're doing Falmouth schools, they're doing,
right.
and so maybe this is one stop. They don't have to go all over big swaths.
Except we
to-
only have 2 bins. That
That's
doesn't
okay,
work
but
in
if
our
you're out and
favor.
about, well, yeah, but
I think they actually have a facility in Cape, so they are there.
Right.
well,
So
just
it's
to
still-
find out how,
Yeah.
On the pilot contract, did we have a clause in there for extension, like with an
Wasn't there
option?
a
On our
Yeah.
permanent, yes, on our permanent, we
Which
have
was-
2 one-year extensions. It has to be a mutual. Okay, so I really need a vote to negotiate with them to extend it for a year. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
The
to
motion is,
extend The contract for another year.
okay,
to extend it or to negotiate it.
to negotiate an extension.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Vanessa, I.
G9.
Jean, I, so 4-0. Because I just don't want to leave it till the next meeting and then we run.
Yeah, no, that's
Then
why I
it
brought it up now,
expires.
because I think we
Yeah.
need turnaround time so we can really discuss it on that
Yeah.
October meeting.
Okay. I know it's very early in the school year. I know the 3 of you are interested in working with the school. Do we have a plan?
No, we should meet again to discuss where we
Yeah,
go
we
forward
should.
on, who takes
Yeah.
the lead on communications and stuff like that. Can we just move that discussion down to 11, though? I know that we have schools under organic pilot, but
Okay.
I'm gonna just say that we're now on 11 to talk about the green teams.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay,
don't number them, but I put numbers
Okay.
so that I can
sure.
correspond with my notes, but
Okay.
support and expansion of green team in local schools.
Okay, so we'll wait on that one.
Okay,
Okay, SSRC, as Todd pointed out, the next SSRC meeting is on September 18th. And it is in Kingston, I believe.
well, that's on my
Yeah,
month
I
here
believe
too.
so.
It is
Where do you have it?
Hanson Town Hall.
Hanson Town, okay. It's always available via Zoom. So as always, I encourage any of you who are interested to either come in person or attend by Zoom. There's usually lots of good information disseminated. The speaker for the next one.
I don't have that. I didn't take the whole agenda.
Let's see if I put it in mine.
I think green team, is it?
It might be,
I think you had that last time.
Last
Yeah.
time was
the guy recycling,
recycle works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might be Green
I
Team.
think it's green team.
As soon as I get the agenda, I'll send it out to you. So you have the link for Zoom, you'll have the speaker. And anything else that we're gonna do.
That's on the 18th.
It is.
What day is that? Is that a Thursday?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The meetings are on Wednesday mornings. okay?
Oh, that's,
And they're about every 5 weeks. And we try and move it around to all the communities.
even in the June meeting, it said that
And then you
the
get people like me. that
June
go to the wrong place.
SSRC was on June 26th at Pembroke, and that Fred Cullen of Green Team Junk Removal. will be
He
the
wasn't
speaker.
there that time.
No,
So
he
he's
didn't.
being rescheduled.
I think he's been rescheduled.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
couldn't make that one.
Okay.
That's why.
I think there's anything else that came out of the last SSRC meeting that's a,
They're doing the hazardous waste bid right now, and the
Okay.
opening is in Weymouth in 2 Mondays.
okay, I don't think we have anything down this way coming up.
For SSRC. Or, oh.
For
hazardous waste.
hazardous household waste.
No.
No, the next one's in Hanson,
Mhm.
which is this month. The next month.
I
Something
didn't
like
bring that with me.
So you might wanna promote that one if anyone has any hazardous
Okay.
waste, because that's pretty close to here. I think it's Hanson.
I know we have the sheet that Claire does every every year. Paul has a pile of those available over there, but I don't know about online. Um,
Should I be adding those to my upcoming dates?
hmm?
Should I be adding
hazardous
those?
waste?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially if they're local.
So what does this opening bid mean?
So she goes out to bid for hazardous waste depending on how the state contract is. And the state contract is not going well. Since they're just going out for bid now. So in order to get the pricing that SSRC needs to move forward over the next year and a half, she actually took it upon herself to go out for bid and not use state contract. Because that's not even gonna be ready until probably next year at this point.
We can't wait that long.
And what-
That's why she did
Yeah.
it herself.
Where does,
So
what does Weymouth come in? You said it's at.
that's the
Weymouth.
bid opening. The bid opening of the hazardous waste bid that she sent out to all the hazardous waste haulers is in Weymouth at 1 p.m.
You have to have a place and a time to open the
Yeah, it's
bids.
a public opening.
It's a public opening of all bids.
I don't know.
So what they do is she collects all the bids.
Oh,
She
and
gets
seal,
it in.
oh, and seal
Seal.
them. Okay,
and then
okay.
Seal them and open them and
Oh,
read them and put them.
all right.
She doesn't necessarily award them, but she will
Open
let
them.
everyone know what the rates are.
And then I think the full board votes.
I'm gonna be at that open. Gets me to the house.
Yeah, I mean, there've been fewer companies and the costs have kept going up.
Yeah. So, what day did you say that was? Or does it
It's
matter?
Monday, the.
I mean, I have 1 PM and that doesn't mean anything if it doesn't anchor to a day.
So Monday, the 16th. At 1 p.m.
September 16th?
Yeah, Weymouth DPW,
All right,
120 Winter Street.
all right.
Okay. All right, so then she won't have that. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the agenda for the next meeting. Maybe she'll have that on there.
It should be, she was trying to, oh wait. Yeah, actually, it will be on there.
Okay.
Yeah, but it will,
It's 2
yeah, but
days
it will have
before.
happened before the meeting.
Huh?
The 16th versus the 18th. It
Right,
won't happen
right.
before it.
But I didn't know if that was soon enough for her to have
Oh, to
everything.
announce it.
Yeah,
Okay.
It should, because she wanted to vote on it as soon as possible.
okay,
It'll
so
probably
we'll
be
probably
voted
vote
on
on the
next
16th or 18th then. Okay, all right. But it's become far more expensive and that is something that Paul has to put in his budget every year. To account for that, because if it's not held here, then the residents have
To get
have
past
to
and-
get permission, but Paul just adopted the new recommendation, which is that so it's a new procedure. It's not as cumbersome
Yeah.
for the residents.
Like they don't have to get a form now or something. I think it's just done online and like keep track
Yeah.
of the whatever town they're from. that
Right,
way.
they don't have to personally go to
Yeah.
the highway barn to get a slip that says they're allowed to dump, because then he gets billed for each resident that takes stuff to the events. And that comes out of his line item for hazardous household
And
waste.
they check off that they actually show up at their,
I think so,
They make an appointment online
Right.
for a time window.
and then
they
it's
show
checked off
up
that
and
they
they
actually
check
showed
in.
up. Yeah.
yeah, so that procedure is a little easier now.
Yeah, I think that the scheduling helps a lot.
Oh,
So we're not waiting in a line for,
Well, that's the other problem. It helps with traffic flow as well.
Yeah.
Because there were lines.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah,
And you
police
sit there with your
detail.
car idling for too long.
Well, it's
Yeah.
eliminating the police details, the need for a police detail.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem in Hanover. Hanover would host it. They'd have to have a police detail because it would just stop traffic down whatever route that was.
Yeah, it's just a much better process, and then to have our permit easier too. I'm hoping more people will participate. Because we know there's a lot of hazardous household waste out there. And we want to get it out of the waste stream, properly handled. Okay, bylaw. I've been talking with Todd about our current bylaw and the way it's written. He's sent me some changes. Let me just go make copies so you guys can take a look at this.
Well, can you make a copy of this one too for me?
Yes,
So I have the motion. Thanks.
I'm gonna make it for everybody.
Oh, for everybody. Okay, that's. See? So David, I have a honey question. What makes it turn to sugar?
Honey,
What terms of sugar?
You know how it solidifies at the bottom of the jar? The honey
the
Crystallized.
crystallizes,
Oh,
there you go.
crystallize. You just put that in a little warm water and
What causes it to do it though?
I don't know. It's probably just,
chemical reaction of some sort.
yeah, I mean, it will crystallize. I mean, honey will crystallize.
Mm.
And it might be a moisture situation where there's a certain amount of water in it. You know, it's low, it's very low. But again, if you just warm it, it just
Goes
goes
away,
back to
okay.
liquids. But
Okay.
don't get it too warm, you know, because, you know, don't take it over, 80 or 90.
Don't nuke it
degrees.
for 20 minutes.
No.
Molten honey,
You
okay.
know what, I make stock all the time. And I made a stock the other day and it was looking really nice and I forgot. I was reducing it.
Yeah.
I had taken all the bones out. and all
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oops. I
I'm looking, oh, well, that takes care of that stock. And when, you know, and it was rich.
love making stock. Especially during Thanksgiving, the carcass. Turkey stock.
You know, I used to make
Mhm.
it's a meat pie with potato on top. What's that? called?
Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Oh, yeah, one of my
And we
favorites.
used to serve lamb shanks. So
Uh-huh.
I would braise the lamb shanks.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of stuff in Guinness. And I would cook it for like 3 or 4 hours.
You never invited me over for dinner? Come on.
What was his
That was at
restaurant?
the
And to
restaurant.
go and buy it.
Yeah, you know what the cost of lamb shanks, go to the store and look at lamb shanks, and
Yeah.
you may not ever eat a lamb shank again, they're wicked expensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would cook it, you know, braise it on low heat for about 3 to 4 hours. And then I would serve the lamb shank and I would take the stock, strain it, and I would buy a little bit of ground lamb and half beef.
Hmm.
And that's how I made the shepherd's
Okay.
pie. And it was,
Okay.
oh,
That's
God,
good.
it was so
Yeah.
good.
All right, so what you have in front of you is the proposed amended chapter 8, Public Health and Sanitation, Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3. Previously, do you want to see what the previous one read? I guess you did that too, right?
Mhm. I saw your comments. I didn't know how to print it with your comments on it, but it looks like they got integrated here.
Yeah, I think she. I remember when it.
I was concerned about the term generators. Entities kind of fills it, but
Well, generators means anyone generating solid waste, which
Yeah.
is what you want to cover. That covers everyone, whether it's.
I know, but it's
residential.
jargon.
It's not jargon.
I,
It's
but maybe it's
recognized.
the legal ease, I guess, but. as
That's what
a
we use at
person-
the state level in all of our regulations. It's
generation?
All generators, yep. All generators, covers everybody.
Hey,
Shouldn't it be like a colon or something there?
well, we can work on that, sure. This is the original. There's 2 articles on here. One is the existing Article 8 on mandatory recycling, and then Article 17, which is on the language for the recycling committee. Okay,
These were the original, this one that you just
the
gave.
one I
us.
just gave you.
Okay.
The one that
others.
has TK 82324 is the one that Todd sent me as suggested language. So, take a minute to look at the difference in those 2. We're not doing that article. We're not changing that article. It's just this one. Okay, so I need a motion to propose the change, second, and then we'll discuss it.
Have a question.
Mhm.
It says that required by the Board of Selectmen. Wouldn't it refer to like Code of Massachusetts Regulation 310-019, something like that?
Well,
It's like-
what I did was I took the language that was in the original. If you look, and it does require a regulation from the Board of Selectmen.
It would be the town's bylaw versus the state
State, right.
regulation.
Right.
So we're saying that we want to adopt this. Because just like the federal government has rules, but states can have separate ones. The state has rules, the town can have separate ones. And then this complies, we're just saying that this is the town's bylaw also. It's my
Somebody
take on
has
it,
to sponsor the regulation.
being us as the sponsors, the town.
No, being the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
It's either them or the Board of Health. We don't have any regulating authority as a committee.
So what's the motion I'm making?
The motion is to propose revised language for mandatory recycling to be submitted as a warrant article for special town meeting.
Propose revised language for mandatory recycling. In the town of Kingston, or that's
Mhm.
assumed.
Sure.
And we're proposing this to,
It has to go to town meeting.
or for authorization for adoption, for what are we doing? We have to bring it to them because the goal is to get it adopted, right, or.
To be
Modified.
for recycling, proposed revised language for recycling to be submitted as a warrant article.
Okay, wait a minute, I don't have that one. To be.
And I would say just leave it as submit as a warrant article. Because the fall special town meeting warrant opens September 12th. And if it's not accepted as a warrant article this time, then we could submit it in the spring for the annual.
Okay. I move that.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, now discussion. Todd worked with me on this language. Questions?
Shouldn't it be like a colon or something?
Yeah, I
At
mean,
that point,
technically, I don't know how it's done in the, but yeah, I mean, we can put a colon in there for now. Just to differentiate. Okay,
The only thing,
or even a comma, something.
the only thing I'm not
Where are you placing that?
not too keen on is, so the first line,
Disposal of recycling.
okay,
So
so that
that
all
would
residents
be
and
like the
entities.
title.
Generator.
Oh, I see.
You
That's-
want me to use the word generators,
I would just have all generators in Kingston.
but I don't think people will understand what a
That's what I'm saying,
generator
that's
is.
jargon,
Yeah,
it might
that's-
be the law on the state, but I don't,
But
when
that-
I read generators, I'm thinking that's a machine, a
Yeah.
person.
Okay, well, generators also, you're generating something.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay,
Generator.
what I was
that-
trying to
that
do-
Use of that word makes sense to a lot of people, not all, I think.
Yeah.
basically.
I was trying to introduce
Yeah.
the terminology, the proper terminology.
No, that's fine.
But really spelling it out so people know it's you, it's all of you.
Okay.
you
So we
know.
could in that
All residents and
Parentheses say-
businesses.
also referred to as generators. So that if that comes up again, we know we're talking about,
When you
all
see something
residents
in
and-
parentheses, doesn't that define what you just put down?
if the, in an abbreviation and stuff like that, I'm not,
But we
Yeah.
could add that. I mean,
just because
Also
we're gonna
referred
use it
to
again
as-
later, yeah.
You could just do all generators, which include residents, businesses, industry, towns, town
so
buildings.
we're adding more language.
You're adding more language. But don't-
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I kind of like,
Just disregard what I
it
said.
speaks to me to say all residents and entities. Oh, okay, now I know what you mean. But if you
But-
start with
but
a
what is-
generator, I'm thinking of a machine.
But what's an entity?
Business, school,
Generator.
They
church,
don't know what
whatever.
generators, but they know what an entity is? I mean, I don't-
Well,
I don't-
residents or entities, residents or
Ghost
businesses.
hunter, to me, an
or-
entity is a ghost.
There you go.
So, yeah,
So we
I
could
don't-
further expand it and say businesses, schools, institutions.
But then someone's gonna say, but I don't fit in any of those, so it
That's
doesn't apply.
that's why
Right.
all generators covers anyone that's generating anything,
Anything, right?
period. That's why all generators is the word.
So what do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with generator because that as soon as it was said, it made sense to me.
Right, but
But it can be
It
misinterpreted.
could be.
I would put all residents as businesses, residents, comma, businesses, and generators. Any, like.
But they are
any and all
generators.
Generated.
they
Well,
are
the
generators.
thing is, if you don't put business in there, that's not gonna clear.
So entities.
But then when you
it's
do
not
business, you
clear
have to
enough.
do like, oh, is it profit?
Every
Profit,
business. Yeah, every
organizations, whatever.
business.
But my concern is, I bring these things into my house, but I didn't generate them, so I don't have to do
You're
that.
generating.
But I'm not, I don't see myself as whoever made it, generated it. I just was the true person. I didn't make that stuff, and
You're
so
too
that's where
smart,
it kind
Vanessa,
of,
you're too smart for this.
I couldn't go to law school. I'd never get past the first page of reading this stuff.
You read too much.
But I feel
I
like,
get it, I get it.
I like that all residents and entities. While I'm a resident, it speaks to me
I
now.
mean, you
I
could,
can go
you
forward.
could spell it out a little more detailed, and you could say all generators that generate some sort of solid waste, or all generators that produce solid
I don't
waste
produce it
All
either.
generators.
are required to divert the recycle.
All generators of waste,
But they're gonna, like,
including.
Vanessa says, I didn't generate it.
I'm just
It's-
passing it on.
I'm just
Yeah,
passing it
no,
on.
I'm just passing it on.
That's
I
the
didn't
problem.
make it.
That's a problem with us. Nobody wants to take responsibility for what they bought.
I know.
I take a lot of responsibility for it, but I don't think of myself as
Yeah,
the
you
person
do.
that generated.
No,
it.
I know, you're playing
But I
devil's
just think of
advocate. I
myself
get
as the
it.
generator of it. I
I
think of
agree.
myself as the,
Well, that makes
Right.
sense.
Are we gonna be
owner.
able to resolve this wording?
I'm
I
fine
think
with
so.
leaving it the way it
Just leave it the way it
is.
is.
And if
Sure.
generators come up because it's in parentheses, I mean, if you put it as a capital letter in generators, then I begin to
Everyone who
see,
disposes of,
yes.
I mean, really, the way it should be defined almost as if you generate solid waste, regardless if you bought it or not. If it comes out of your house, business, institution, town hall, must be recycled. Must recycle.
instead of generators, could we put disposers?
I think that eliminates.
All residents, entities, meaning disposers in Kingston, they're
I-
disposing of
I
it?
think what people will read into that would be, well, wait a second, I'm using the transfer station. That doesn't include private private service.
Oh, boy, how are we gonna?
I don't, well, and that's why the state came
Well-
up with this based on a lot of studies. It's all generators
Mm,
must recycle.
But
It's
then it's
pretty
subject
simple.
to interpretation as to what is a generator.
Which leaves it a
is.
little open to interpretation.
Yeah.
But when you boil down to it, a lawyer's gonna look at it and go, did you generate that styrofoam cup? Yes. Your generator, you must recycle.
I didn't generate it and it's not styrofoam.
I know.
Stop.
All right, guys.
This is when
Is there anything else that jumps out at you that we need to,
you would.
to discuss? Any other?
Well, you know what? We can just put it through like this. It's gonna get a lot of picking over. I mean,
Massage.
whether or not you have a semicolon or a colon or whatever, comma,
Mhm.
that stuff, all the legal ease will do it. And then they'll also,
Yeah, because this has to go to town council.
it's gotta
for
go
review.
through a lot of
Yeah.
hoops. And if we can't get it out of this room right now, we're not gonna get anywhere. So I think I like it
Get
like
something
this.
through there.
Yeah.
And it could get modified
Yeah,
after
they
we
could,
review
could,
it.
you
So-
know,
And there might be a better way to define generator as a human disposing of, or an organization of humans disposing of. But I don't think we need to do that. I think
I don't
it's-
identify as human.
There you go, man.
All
I'll
right.
check your DNA.
I
but can
identify as a
prove you
potato.
are.
I
Okay,
generated.
so is this something that we as a committee want to put forward as a warrant article? We have a proposal, we have a motion on the table to do this. And it's been seconded, we've discussed it. Are we ready to vote or do we want to discuss it further?
I vote, yeah.
Okay. So I'll call for a vote.
Vanessa, yeah,
I
I was gonna say.
And Jean, I, okay.
4-0.
So 4-0. Okay, so what I will do now is submit it, starting September, I guess I could do it now, but I think the warrant opens September 12th. They're gonna vote tonight to open the warrant.
You have a date on that?
On the town meeting, yes, we do. It's in November, because remember Paul said he'd be back a couple of days before, town meeting. Let's see.
To tell her.
Okay, where is it? Town meeting is November 19th. It's a Tuesday.
Thank you.
Okay, and America Recycles Day is November 15th. Okay. All right, so let me move this on and see what we get back. From primarily from town council. Because they'll review it and then we'll see what we get at town meeting. First of all, we have to see if the selectmen will put it on this special. I don't know how many articles are on the special. They may limit the type of things that go on the special that are timely, whereas this could go on anytime. So I'll keep you advised as to what happens with our warrant article. Okay. Private hauler regulations. Okay, I don't have anything further in that right now. Does anybody? The warrant article actually speaks to private haulers requiring recycling and residents complying. Yes,
yes.
okay.
Thank you for that.
Dean, where are we on our pennies?
You were interested,
Oh,
not that that's sexy, but
It's,
It is if you're in construction.
it's certainly
Well, they-
noticeable.
Well, they have men's and women's, so I
Okay.
printed out the women's one
Okay.
and there's an.
And what are we looking at price wise? $40 each? I was thinking maybe 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little simpler. I do like the safety features of that, but,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're $40.
I don't think so. They have, what do they have right now at Ocean State has like $2 ones.
But then we have to have them printed.
Printed, yeah, I know, but I was thinking about them because oftentimes when I'm driving, I see bicyclists. They don't wear helmets and they're in dark, and I just think I would hand those out. I think it's a lot of the immigrants because it's transportation they can
Right, right,
use,
right.
but I would somewhere. And I almost hit somebody
some
because I couldn't
visibility.
see them until 1 second they're in my headlight.
Yeah.
And it was only because like something on their wheel, not their body at all. And I thought I should just keep
Yeah,
those
we
in my
finally
car
got
to
the
hand out.
flashing lights for our bikes.
Yeah.
So you can see
Yeah,
'em.
yeah, but I mean, I just, for $2, I thought I'm gonna put those in my car, but I never followed through with it. But I mean, they're a lot cheaper. I thought what we were gonna have a hard time with is, recycling committee volunteer, because I don't really want to say I'm a member, I'm a whatever. It's
Because
just
it does say they're
volunteer on there.
customizable,
Yeah.
customized, but minimum of 24 garments. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I
we
just
need
think something.
The
$40 a piece?
Yeah.
So what my thinking on this was, we could buy one each for everybody. And then you could have the printing put on it. And
But that would
the
be in
other-
addition to that basic cost of
Right.
$39.99.
Right, and the thing is that I still would like that there's 2 or 3 hanging in the swap shop.
Yeah,
So that volunteers can identify as volunteers so that people aren't.
who are you to tell me I can't bring this
Right,
in here?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm a role here. I'm not just taking, whatever crap or,
Right, right.
or telling you whatever.
I have
There's
some
identification.
authority.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like, I want to be able to have one of those when I stand out there and just say, you know what, you know why you're putting that in there, or why you shouldn't be putting that in there, or,
Yeah.
look, I'm a volunteer, and to have volunteer on it is, I think, really, really important.
Did you ask at the t-shirt place if they have these available? Something like this?
I find them really expensive over there.
I did not, and the reason I thought this would be a good idea, because they have a minimum, you have to buy so many and then print them and all that.
Right.
So if you take that versus this, it's gonna be around the same or less.
Wait, who has the minimum? Oh, the t-shirt shop?
Yeah, well, I would imagine most companies have some sort of minimum, but I would think,
Did Ed
10 or
meet that
12.
minimum on those t-shirts? Because he only got like 17 or some, I don't remember how many t-shirts he got, but it was a pretty small number.
no. When we ordered those t-shirts, we probably did get a couple dozen.
Yeah, we had like a box full
Yeah,
of them
we had
somewhere.
a lifetime supply. for 10
Yeah,
people.
did someone?
And somebody grabbed the
walked off.
box.
So,
Yeah, and it's sort of crazy because like, what do you do with the recycled t-shirts?
Like
Well,
that.
what do you do with 100 jar scrapers, Human behavior.
So I have another meeting I have to
Mystifies
get to,
me.
so I have to leave at 11.
Okay,
But,
all right.
can we,
Can we do a little further research? Okay,
Sure.
see if we can bring down the price a little bit. I don't think it has to be this fancy. I mean, this has got pockets and all kinds of stuff. I
yeah,
mean,
I'm just thinking.
just the basic thing that you can pull on,
Right,
over.
over your head and strap around or whatever, so that
Yeah.
it's
Where did
our,
you say they have them?
Ocean State had them in the
Right,
entryway.
but then you'd have to have them printed.
Well, and they're not what I want. It's
Right,
just sort of this
right, just
idea,
this-
of there's a $2 thing.
Yeah,
And the fact is that, you just buy them off the shelf and you can put it on, you can put it on, you can put it on.
right.
It's not like this thing where it zips up and it's form fitting
And
and,
it's got
I mean, for
pockets
me,
and all sorts of
that's,
stuff. Yeah.
a t-shirt under there
You want
wears a
one of
lot
those?
differently than a down Parker or something. But,
You've been feisty today.
but I think we need to have like even 3 extra or something that hang in there. Hopefully people aren't walking up with those, but to buy a $40 one for me and then I'll just put another $120 to have 3 sitting around for people as volunteers and stuff.
Todd, do you know of any other community that's doing something like this or has done something like this?
Shirts for volunteers?
Well, some sort of penny or designation.
You might want to check with Falmouth. Falmouth does a really good job with their swap shed.
I gotta take a look at that down there.
Yeah, they're pretty well established, and Plymouth is basing their new one off of what Falmouth does.
Okay,
So, but they've got, a number of volunteers, and I don't know what they do for shirts and stuff, but they might have that kind of
access to something. They might have some info for it.
Wellesley has something like this,
Mhm.
same color kind of thing. I don't know exactly. what it
Wellesley's
was,
is
but
what for the
all-
state. They're really
Yeah, I know, we're not Wellesley's budget.
expensive.
So, but what I would like to talk a little bit about before I have to blow out of here
Mhm.
is, what's the setup for agricultural day for us for a table?
Okay, that was on my thing here. So ag fair is Sunday, September 29th. It's from 1 to 4 with setup between 12 and 1, because we got to get all those cars in and out of there before people start arriving. And they came early last year, like 12:30 people started showing up.
And it's all gonna be out here, or it's gonna be all over the grounds here?
Pretty much in front of the building.
Because
There'll
you
be
had
some
animals coming
food.
too, right?
Yeah, animals will all be on that side.
Okay,
We had to make that promise to the selectmen. I'm getting vendors coming in all the time. We're gonna probably have beer, we're gonna have ice cream, we're gonna have a couple of different food trucks. The honey people are coming, the flower farm. I'm still waiting to hear but right now I have about 15 responses saying yes, so. It will be on the front lawn here primarily. David did it last year. It's simply a table with a pop-up. And we have our tablecloth. And we had a bunch of brochures. I put together a binder that had a lot of information in it. We had a couple of our bags standing up. Hopefully people will identify us with those bags. We can certainly have some of the jar openers. It sounds like there's a few of those left. I'll be meeting with Paul in the next week or two to arrange for tables and
and how big a table are we talking? What do we
it's a
intend to
standard
get?
6 foot.
Square. Like a
No,
conference
It's rectangular.
yeah,
It's a rectangle.
the
It's just
regular.
like a-
Like the
foldable-
folding
Yeah, the
table.
folding tables. Paul brought us several last year. I think we used one of his. And so it's really just an opportunity to share information. David, you did it. What kind of
it was
interaction
just-
did you have?
Well, it wasn't terribly busy, but there were a lot of people who came and they were interested and they were very sympathetic to what we were doing. You know, and there were some people that just didn't know and there was material there. And if if I was able to engage them, I did, and it's worth doing. I mean, it's.
Because I'll do it this year. I'm gonna be home. I'll be
Well,
in the country, I'll be in the state, I'll be in the town.
Oh, I
Okay.
think the word's out.
What's the date?
I think the word's out on
That
that.
I'm around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, good. But anyway, so I'm
September
trying to think
29th.
of, and I'd love to work with someone else. Like little quizzes or little.
whatever you want to come up with.
Whatever. So that's why I was kind of questioning what the space was.
It's just a standard 6 foot
It's-
table.
And our tablecloth is what, just a plastic tablecloth or
No,
something?
no,
Or
no, we
what's-
have that nice green one that says Kingston Recycles on it.
Okay.
It's a cloth.
Okay,
Table.
and then I thought, if it is some kind of a quiz and we can engage people, can we
Sure.
reward them with a jar opener?
Sure.
So
Oh, yeah, they
not
can
to
have
just leave
two.
them out there for people to.
We can
Well,
have two.
yeah,
One
I'd
for
like
each
to
hand.
make it a little bar to
Yeah,
get it.
but
not just-
last year we had a lot of different brochures on
We
recycling.
did.
So Dave,
This
I'd like to
year,
work
we
with you on
could
it.
solicit volunteers for the swap shop. We could have a little, I could put together something saying,
sign-up
swap shop
sheet.
coming in the spring.
And if there's little
yeah.
takeaways too, so that they know what they kind of signed up for, or can think about it
Well,
and
we'll
then
get
get
their
back.
name and their phone number and their email.
Right, right,
Yes.
but also so that they have, what did I sign up, wait, what, I don't know, I put stuff on the refrigerator.
Okay.
Anyways, and is everyone gonna be there? No, well, you're busy doing a million things, but Gina, are you around?
I'm running it, so.
No,
I'm
Gina, I
gonna
said,
be-
yeah, I know, you're gonna be around bouncing
I'm
around,
gonna
so.
be
I said the
over. Gene. I mean, if you each can take a little bit of that time.
Yeah.
David was there the whole time,
I'm gonna come.
Yeah,
and if there's, you can overlap or you can walk around and see what
yeah, I do
else
wanna
is
spend
here.
some time walking around too, but
Yeah,
anyways, I'd like to just kind of figure out. I don't know,
What about a tent thing? Like, how we,
a pop-up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do-
I've
do we
got
have one?
one coming for you guys. Beth Corbett usually brings a bunch and that's what we used last year is a blue one, just a quick pop-up, remember? You
I
have
think
something?
Joe provided us one at one point.
Maybe, right?
Yes,
you-
but I don't think for that day, but.
Yeah, do you want to ask him if he has one?
Hmm.
Okay, okay.
what
Vanessa,
I-
if you want to put something together.
I do want to. So one of the questions I want to ask is,
Mm-hmm.
if in your home somewhere, you have something that you repurposed in a way that was creative and solves a problem, to think about those. You know, like I buy laundry detergent in big containers
Mhm.
and I use a mustard, forget what company it was, whatever, pull it all off, put Tide on it, so I can spot treat. And then I have, whatever, so that I can keep buying the gigantic container and not have to like, whatever. And just kind of things around the house.
I
where
was
you-
thinking too, along the lines of, okay, here's an item, can it be recycled?
Right, can you
know,
put things like
And
that?
what bin, what bin
Yeah.
would it go in?
Yeah, I thought about that too, to have,
Mhm.
and to have an example of black plastic and an explanation of why, right at this moment,
You
that
want
doesn't
to
work.
take care of this?
I would.
Okay, because honestly, I'm straight out trying to
Yeah,
get
I'm
the
sure you
spare
are.
part together.
Yes, but just any creative inputs of things
Yeah.
that you think of, just throw it on my way.
Can you bring your sample of what you do?
Yeah, I'm going around my house trying to find things, but I can't
Okay.
take them now because.
Well, no,
they're
no, but I'm just
useful.
saying, if you
Yeah.
have some examples of things that you've done, that would be really,
Right,
you
but so,
know,
and I'm also thinking,
pictures worth a million
Right.
words. and-
black plastic, why it can't, pill bottles, why it can't, milk bottle lid, why it can't, styrofoam, why it can't, like
Yep,
pizza boxes, what's the controversy?
go with it, Vanessa. Sounds wonderful.
All right,
really
I would like
does.
to do this.
Okay, great. All right,
So where would I get the openers before then?
Paul has
Those-
them.
Okay,
Yeah, Paul has
all
them.
right.
Yeah, so if you're gonna get the openers, that's fine. That's one less thing on my to-do list. Okay,
So I just checked, I'll be there.
okay.
So we're gonna be sort of on a hill somewhere.
A little bit, yeah. As you know, they put in a lot of fill. And this is all turf now
Right.
that they put in, so I don't think the incline's gonna be quite what it was before, but it wasn't
It
bad.
wasn't bad.
No, I mean, it does kind of, go down a little bit, but I don't think it was too bad. The other side I thought was worse, for people trying to get up the hill. Or Ralph was trying to get up there on his walker and that sort of thing. So,
All right, now I'm gonna have to go.
okay,
So
well, I'm glad,
someone can continue the minutes for me?
yes, I will continue the minutes for you. But thank you. That would be
Sure.
a great addition to.
But it means I'm bailing on the green team discussion, I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. You know the other characters here. You can get
Yeah.
in touch with them on the green
I'll be in
team.
touch, guys. I've thought about reaching out to Rick, but I don't know him. You guys probably know him. And I
You know him,
want to
right?
build
Yeah.
on what you've already done and what your relationships are, but I want to make it so that the three of us have that relationship so
Mhm.
that we're unified in talking with people.
Right.
Always nice.
Me too. Likewise. Way to keep me on my toes.
So
You
what,
generator, you.
what would be a good way for us to get together with Rick? We obviously can't invite him to a recycling meeting.
No, I
He's gonna be in
think meet
school.
on his ground, his turf, arrange a meeting with him and,
But he's gonna be a different can of worms too, in that he's Silver Lake and we're gonna try and focus on Kingston. But he certainly has a trickle down effect and he has links to athletes and he has
right. Well,
knowledge of how
and it could
administration
be,
works.
he's going to be that coordinator for the whole school district. We don't know.
Well, he's brand new. I don't think he's gonna take something like that on, but maybe.
Sure he is.
Is he?
He
would do
did that in Hingham.
Yes,
And he
but I
was
mean,
doing it
he's-
here before.
Okay, it's a brand new job. I just don't wanna put more.
Oh, I agree. I
Well,
agree.
you can
Well,
always say no.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. I mean, I think the first thing would be to figure out what
Yes.
his role will be.
So if we can
regarding-
set up a time, you guys are both pretty flexible, right? We'll come to your house and try one of those like mutton stews or something.
I'm up for it. I'm up for it.
Okay, so Jean, we're gonna ask you to be in charge of arranging that meeting with Rick. Okay, and then you can let your fellow members. Maybe Rick can give us a couple different dates. Because I would love to get that connection back, of working with the schools. I know you had a pretty strong program going there and it seems to have dwindled without guidance and, Rick coming back could be a huge change for
Not
us.
only that, I mean, I don't know how long ago you started doing it, but there's been a lot more information available to people overall in the news and the media.
Yeah.
And people are coming finally, too slowly still.
Well,
Sensitive
what
to-
I'm
to
reading
their
is that
environment.
the younger generation is taking all of this very seriously.
They are.
Because
they
they
are.
know this is gonna be what they're left with, climate wise. And so I think they're more
Well, it's-
engaged.
You know, it's sort of like the upcoming presidential election. All the young people are just so eager. And the energy that's out there that
Yeah.
hadn't been there before with young people.
Right. So I think this is an opportune time to get back in there and see what we
Mm.
can do to support and encourage whatever programs they wanna do.
Phoenix, Arizona had 100 consecutive days of over 100 degrees.
I know, can you imagine? And people are still moving to Phoenix. I don't think.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing that's bizarre to me.
All
I
right,
wouldn't want to live there.
okay.
I would never-
When
I
went
never
out there,
would've
Lake,
wanted to.
Lake Mead was down 150 feet.
Oh,
I mean, I
What a
think that's
shame.
recovered some now, but that's like the water source pretty much. About that whole
I mean,
area.
yeah,
But the other thing is, you know, the central part of the country, the aquifers being drained.
yes.
And it's not being replenished at the rate it needs to be replenished. So, well, you know, eventually this is all gonna sink. And it's, you know, I don't know, and I don't, you know, it's up to, unfortunately, it's up to the people we elect. And we don't have enough elected officials who are in tune with it or want to be in tune with it because they
Dedicated
want to get.
to it.
you know,
Yeah.
dedicated.
Yep.
And it's a shame, and you know, I occasionally get into, I get myself into trouble all the time, because I do, you know, and Patricia gets angry with me, and I say, you know what, I don't care if they don't like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The fact is, they have to think about it.
But you're entitled to your opinion and I know you're well read and you keep in touch,
There's-
on top of this stuff.
There's a couple that I know them, I don't see them socially, but
Mhm.
I get along fine with them over the years and touch free. And somebody was over at their house doing some work and they're spraying the thing with Roundup. And they have children, well, the children are adults now,
But still,
and these people aren't stupid.
right, but they're just not informed. Yeah.
And they treat it like, huh, what? In this day and age, you don't know?
Should that be a topic that we have on our Facebook page, maybe at some point?
Could and then people all around me use it.
It's crazy.
Patricia's we're gonna be outcast in our neighborhood because she can't keep her mouth shut anymore. What's that? What did I hear you say? What's that little flag for?
All right, well, let's wait for Jean and then let's try and wrap this up. Sorry, Todd, it's a long meeting,
That's all right.
but we cover a lot of ground, I think.
These are
Good
always good.
ground, good ground.
I have to admit to the fact that I don't have a copy of the agenda, and the reason being is I don't know what happened to it. And I can't find it on my computer. It was there, and I did something stupid, and I keep saying that I do something stupid.
Did you,
I have
can
no-
you delete it?
I did,
And it wasn't there.
and I put your name,
Yeah.
and it didn't come back.
It didn't come back.
Now, if I gave the computer to my daughter, she should go,
It's right
Dad.
here.
It's right here.
Yeah.
I know, I know,
That's
I know.
But I was, I copied the, the minutes, and I'm going, well, I'll just read all, and then what happened? I went back, I did it several times. I said, you just missed it, David. You just,
It's here somewhere. Yeah, it's usually what I tell myself. It's here somewhere.
yeah, but the problem is.
Can
where
I
is
just put
that?
my finger on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I put it in the wrong folder?
I don't know how to keep track of it. I'm a disaster when it comes to this. I've never been a note taker.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
And I'll give you just one quick example.
have
When I was working, I was doing a show, it was Boys from Syracuse, which was a musical. And this one I was working at BU, and I had a grad student assistant.
Remember, we're being recorded.
Hmm?
We're on.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything rude, but.
Okay.
And I had a grad student assistant. And he, over, a period, couple, 2 or 3 weeks in rehearsal and that sort of thing. And he came into my office one day to get his work schedule, so to speak. And he said, I've never seen you take notes. And I would take, I had the script and I would take, notes relative to movement and all that sort of thing, but not. And he said, you never forget anything. I said, because I'm not a note taker. First of all, I can't spell. Secondly, I don't write fast enough. And I've adjusted to that.
Yeah.
And this is how I do it. However, what I'm finding now that I'm older and the memory isn't there
There.
anymore, I need to, I'm now a note taker. I have a. book
I have
that
to. I've got too
well,
many.
I mean, I
many
couldn't,
balls
I
in the
couldn't, I
air.
couldn't.
So-
just couldn't do it.
Come on, Gene.
I'm the same way though, because I actually got in trouble for not taking enough notes before. And it's like, I can't even read my own handwriting.
Well,
So
you've
if I
got
take a note, it's
32
like,
communities. I don't know how you
Yeah,
keep it
that's-
all straight.
I'm pretty,
Are you good?
so I'm very visual in my memory. So like
Okay.
movies, like learning stuff like that, I can memorize a line in any movie, like right after I watch
I
it.
used to be,
So watching.
I used to be able to
Yeah,
see
being in
something and
meetings.
remember it. Doesn't work
Being in
anymore.
meetings and actually watching this and watching people talk, I usually have a pretty good memory about that stuff.
Good.
So,
Okay, Gene, we're just gonna wrap up here. Yes, I've kept you guys for 2 hours. There was an article on countertop composting machines. I don't know if I sent that to you, which said they don't really work.
Yeah, I've read it. I don't know if I read.
So
yours,
it's not
but you
something
did,
we
but-
want to promote.
No.
I don't think. I sent you another one about the amount of plastic, 57 million tons of
That's-
plastic waste
That's
each
scary.
year.
That's scary,
Very
isn't it?
scary. They are having a coast sweep cleanup in September. I have sent this on to the selectmen because they had led the charge previously on community cleanups. So I forwarded that to them.
Is that the one they have on Duxbury Beach? Or is that different?
It's all up and down the coast.
So that's the coastwide cleanup to keeping us beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. I think I mentioned to you before, Ken Stone and his group, thanks to Todd's assistance, have made some progress in Plymouth. You alluded to their swap shop
A lot of
coming up. They're
progress.
gonna create a recycling committee. So he was pretty psyched about progress that they've made with the new administration.
I love them. They're actually getting stuff done.
Yeah,
So
and as you know, we've had some
we're-
of their town residents
we're meeting
join
monthly.
us.
We have a
you know.
set monthly meeting.
Hmm?
We have a set monthly meeting there in Plymouth.
That is, that's
it's
for
key.
meeting with administrators.
Meeting with the DPW and their sustainability coordinator. Last month, we had the school, the director of school facilities there to talk about the schools. It's been now 8 months, I think we've been meeting, and I made more progress in Plymouth in the last 8 months than I have in 8 years. It's unbelievable, the new staff.
How did it turn around?
New admin.
New administration.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, JB is now no longer there. It's been gone for about a year now. And JB was he was a great guy, he was really great at speaking, but there was no follow through. So anytime I wanted to push
It's
an
still
agenda,
town meeting, right?
it is, but a
But
lot of
it's
stuff goes through
representative.
Yeah, but
DPW, so.
just trying to get stuff
Yeah.
moving. I mean, we've been very lucky with Paul.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
really
know.
think he's
Yeah.
been very
Right.
supportive of us. And that is my biggest concern is whomever comes in next, what kind of
Are we gonna get the
relationship
same
will
kind of
we be able
response?
to
That's my
develop.
concern too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it'll be someone who's forward thinking and understands that we do have something to offer. I understand we're not part of the administration, we're just an advisory committee, but I think as a whole, we've been able to have some impact on the community in a positive way. And without Paul's support, I don't think much of that would have moved forward. So that is my biggest concern with
No,
Paul
he's been
leaving.
fantastic.
He has been. He listens to us. He comes to our meetings every month. I mean, that's huge.
Well,
in
but
my
the
eyes.
other thing is, I mean, he's clearly invested in the town,
Yes. So I'm hoping that whomever steps into that role of working with us
Has a
is,
similar commitment.
yes, and will see us as a helpmeet rather than an obstacle.
And I
or
gotta train
a
someone new
hindrance.
again.
Huh?
I gotta train someone new again.
There you go, there you go. But
Uh,
I'm really looking forward to having an opportunity to work with a new person and maybe continue what we've been able to do so far.
Having them come here is so important.
I think it is because they know us, they know what we're thinking, they know, we have an opportunity to run ideas by them before. It's not a formal, oh, can I sit down with you and talk about the possibility? It's, including them in the process.
Yep.
Having full access to the RDP funds, I mean, that's huge.
It is.
I don't think every community allows their recycling to give you that kind of access, right?
No, not everyone. It's tough in some places.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had a pretty good run here, and I'm hoping, with Todd's assistance, we can continue that with whomever comes in next to
Well,
work with
The,
us.
the other thing is that, if you get the right person, it's terrific, but also is, how do we sell ourselves to somebody who might be somewhat indifferent?
Well, I certainly hope you don't come as spicy as you were today.
I don't mean to be fussy.
I'm glad to see you feisty. I really am.
It depends on how feisty I get. It's like, just, I've been a little impatient with stuff lately,
I have too.
and I,
We don't tolerate crap anymore, pretty much.
well, yeah,
Is
I mean,
my
but I'm
motto.
I'm always trying to be polite and friendly to people.
Respectful.
But every once in a while, I forget where I was recently, somebody said something that was stupid. I mean, just stupid, and I was short with the person. And I was right, but I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I walked away from it, and it wasn't a shock or something, and I'm thinking, why did you do that? I mean, there's no gain.
No,
No.
there isn't.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's pretty much what I have to date. Anybody else have anything? There's always a lot of stuff going on in the recycling world. There's always new articles coming out. Being a member of SSRC is certainly helpful to us. Having Todd come to all of our meetings is extremely helpful.
Many as I can get to.
And we appreciate that. So, we make progress, maybe not as fast as we'd like, but
Well,
we do make
but there's progress being made, and unfortunately, I don't get to many of those meetings, and even when I try to go to the wrong place, but did that once.
Once, only once.
I was so annoyed when I'm driving by and said,
That's there.
Trust
And it
me,
was
I went-
too late.
It was
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, I went to a meeting and it was funny because it was in my district, both East and West Bridgewater in my district. I know them very well and I know where the libraries are in each one. And I ended up waking up late. Someone had shut my alarm off. Who it was, I don't think it was any of my family. It was an entity I ran into, and end up going to the wrong library. We were supposed to meet in the West Bridgewater Library. I went to East Bridgewater Library, which is like a straight shot, like 5 miles away. Kathy calls me up. She goes, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm just walking in the library." She goes, "I don't see you." I'm like, "Oh, West Bridgewater, I'm an East, sorry."
It happens.
I usually
It
don't do
happens.
that.
I'm gonna make a move to adjourn.
Okay, because we all have our assignments. We all know what we have to do. And
Some-
Vanessa had kindly pointed out our next meeting,
At
right?
some point, I want to talk about lithium ion too.
Okay, can I put you on the next agenda to do
That's
that?
fine. Yeah, it's kind of some important stuff that I learned about.
Okay,
All the recycling. I need to find out from Paul if you guys are using them or someone else for your batteries. I'll probably end up talking about it at Claire's meeting too, so
okay.
actually that would cover it.
Well, doesn't hurt to have it here. So the next meeting would be October 8th. Okay, now David. Motion,
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
all those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, 11:15.